ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yo. What the fuck is good? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? How are you all living? It is a beautiful Wednesday. It feels so good to be back. I don't know what to say. It's fucking Wednesday. The market's up. S&P new all-time high. Bitcoin somehow still over 81 despite the number one, maybe number two, close to number one holder saying I want to sell. And I don't know. There's motion everywhere. Motion on my Zcash, motion on the Pavel Durov coin. There's motion on whatever garbage you hold is probably going up. If it's not, you probably shouldn't hold it for much longer. I don't know what to tell you. We got a sick stream today. We have Robert Leshner, OG, coming on in like an hour and 15 minutes. And we're going to shoot the shit until then. We got Chris Camillo next Wednesday. We got maybe Mike Novogratz next Tuesday. We got Airmass. My GOAT just told me he's down to come on. We have... Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. Like, God's looking out for me right now. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. Okay? It's awesome. You sit here, you put in the work, and eventually you get some lucky ones. I think it's as simple as that. It feels so good to be back. We have so much to talk about. We have so much to cover. We have market close in 15 minutes. We have Ryan Cohen going on a God run, scorched earth for eBay right now. We have, war updates. War is over. It's not over. New S&P all-time high. I got my first two topics today are crypto resurgence and crypto macro, which is unbelievable. We have Korean stocks, new ATH, circuit breakers everywhere. Leshner OG, if you don't know him, he's like the godfather of DeFi. It's just like, life's awesome, man. I don't know what to tell you. Life's awesome. It's Wednesday. It's a great day. If you know Leshner, you just know he's the GOAT. And we have a million things to talk about. AMD's up like $200 billion today in market cap. It's a good time. Welcome back to the stream. I have so much to talk about. I have so much to cover. I have so much to get into today. Guys, I'm just going to be honest. For all the good vibes I have, one bad vibe. I think the pit's too big. I think it's gotten too big. And I fear the best days in the pit are behind us. And I don't exactly know when the threshold was crossed that it got worse, but it's bad. And it's this weird dichotomy where I am getting a lot more reactions, so I feel good. I'm sob farming in there. I'm getting a lot more reactions. People are glazing me in there, and it's awesome. But then you get the dumbass bullshit, and I'm scared. I'm scared to share my trades because then people are like, I'm down, or I did this or this, or what. I'm like, fuck, man. It was supposed to be my trade journal. Now I'm stressed to post in it. I'm stressed to post. I'll be honest. I'm stressed. I don't want to post in there anymore. I don't want to post. I'm stressed. I'll just say it. And so I don't know what to do. Do we do a new one? Well, now the stream's too big because more people are coming because we're making money on trades. But then you get it's like the mop. What is it? Fan mop. What's the article called? Somebody tell me what the article is called. Fans, mop, ceiling fans, mops, and whatever else. Whatever it's called, it's like that. The late stragglers are always the worst. Okay, but the problem is that I share it because I want the stream to get bigger. So we can get bigger, community get bigger, we can make more money. But it's this weird problem because then it gets bigger and it's worse. Geeks, mops, and sociopaths. Thank you. Whoever just said that. You get an invite to pit too. Whoever just said that. Geeks, mobs, and sociopaths. So if you've never read this, you should read it. Highly recommend it. It's a really good one. Here, I'll share it. Anyways, we have a lot to talk about. We don't have that much time to cover it. I was up all night. Okay, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, do I check? And fuck, I'll check. What? It's how much? It's how much? And so I didn't go back to sleep for the whole night. So we got to get into my flow right now. Or I don't know when it's going to come. So let's get it. Roll call, baby. Who's here? Yonan, what's good? Jinx, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Love your face. Spicy Meatball. Alex, D5. Viblet, what's good? Mac, what's good? Tingle. Oh, my God. Sir Ethan's, Mickley, Jackson Ray, the whole squad's in here. Moncock, Live the Life TV. RL, Teo, Art Mommy, Rex, Joey, DJ, Polka, Rockefeller, Coin, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Wolf Shelby, Wavy 80, DMX, Jeremy Brown, ATX, Borsey, what's good? Polka, what's good? Do you think Intel had $1,000 per share? That would make Intel the most valuable company in the world, I think. It's $100 at 5. I think it's the most valuable company in the world, assuming nothing else moved. If Intel's $1,000 a share, I don't even know what the market looks like when that happens. Giacomoto, what's good? Jeremy, what's good? We did see SpaceX Anthropic. We have a lot to talk about. And I am going to start with a book excerpt. It's my favorite. Okay, I've been reading hella, chat. I'll say two things. One is I had this whole rant yesterday to Tulip King and DNAP and Malcolm, where I was saying that. Oh, was it echo? Oh wait, I got it. Fix. I was saying that I felt like the easiest trades in my the best trades in my life were the easiest, and I don't exactly know why that is, but it always feels like the trades where you're really like as much as I like to glorify trading like it's war, the trades that feel like war are the worst ones every time. And so I had this convo last night on our stand-up or whatever with our team, and I was just talking about how it felt like the best trades were the smoothest. And then I'm reading this book, Market Wizards, but it's not interviews. It's like a condensed version of Jack Schwager interviews. And there's this whole excerpt in here about this trader who is the only guy who has ever told Jack Schwager, you cannot use my interview because it's too much alpha. But he let him keep like 3 paragraphs. And the whole paragraphs are about how this guy is this like Zen monk and how trading should be like shooting a bow and arrow where the arrow like shoots itself. And he goes in this whole rant. But it's pretty crazy because I just opened up random pages and just read. And it was exactly the conversation I was having. And it was pretty fascinating to read it. And so that was cool. But this book is really cool because I'm reading all these hedge fund books and all these market wizards and all this. And then what you realize is there's really not that many good traders in the history of the world. Like there's not, it's pretty small. CoinJoin 42, thank you for the 25 gifted, brother. Thank you. Thanks for the 25 gifted. What you realize is there's not that many good traders in the history of trading. Like it's like a relatively small group, all things considered. And so they all like connect. And so I'm reading this Market Wizards and he's referencing guys who I read about in the More Money Than God, who's referencing people that I read about in the other. It's pretty sick. And I'm obsessed with the pits. And so my favorite trader right now, who I didn't even know who he was two weeks ago, my favorite trader right now is Paul Tudor Jones. He's a dream guest on the stream. And I read this one excerpt. It's one page. I want to read it because it fired. I love the pits so much, right? I'm obsessed with the pits. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, the pits like in the 80s. It's like, that's like 50 years ago. And a lot of these guys are old. A lot of these guys are in their 70s. If they were young back then, they're in their 70s, 80s. I've never interviewed a pits trader, and I don't know how many pits guys we're going to get to interview. Like in my life, we need to lock in on it. And so, yeah, I didn't really know who PTJ was. Like, I just, I've come to trading backwards. I didn't know anything about any of these traders and how any of this stuff worked. And I'm coming to it backwards. I did say he was mid. I thought the interview was kind of mid, but I read this excerpt and it's one page. I want to read it. It fired me up this morning. This is how we're going to set the stage. So Jack Schwager says, when I arranged to interview Jones, he scheduled a time within market hours. I was a bit concerned about this because I knew Jones was a very active trader. Sure enough, when I was ushered into his office, he was shouting an order into one of the speakerphones that directly connected him to the trading floors. This was back in the day before electronic trading, when futures were traded in the pits on the exchange floors. I waited until he had finished placing his order before speaking. I explained that I didn't want to interrupt his trading and suggested that perhaps we should delay the interview until after all the markets have closed. No problem, Jones answered. Let's go. As he was responding to my interview questions, Jones kept his eyes on the large quote monitors spread across the room, intermittently shouting orders to the exchange floor in a particularly forensic style. The trading equivalent of a professional tennis player aggressively returning a volley. Buy December crude, 300 and even. Go, go, go. Are we in? Speak to me. All during this time, he was talking on the phone calls and speaking to staff members popping into the office with market information and questions while responding to my interview. Oh, that's fucking fire you up, man. Are you kidding me? It's so fucking awesome, bro. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. Shout out to Paul Tudor Jones. Shout out to the Pits, man. I feel like every day I need to just like salute the Pits, bro. Every day we should sit here and just salute the Pits. I'm sorry that I called Paul Tudor Jones mid in the interview. I just thought it was like a little bit underwhelming. And hopefully we get him one day relatively soon. Couple things. Number one is, do you remember when we had that interview about, or that segment about, what was his name? Was it Jack? What was his name? What was his name? Like the guy who stole all the $40 million from his dad, who had the government contract to custody Bitcoin. What was his name? Oh, John Lick. John Lick. And we learned about how they have these these like U.S. Marshal auctions. Well, there's one going on right now, and they have crazy shit, unbelievable stuff right now. This is a .gov, brother. They have like ridiculous stuff right now. You should these happen like they don't happen that often. You should check these out. This is. I was thinking about selling some of my bags and going on a bidding war for this with CT. Movie. We'll track it as it. There's still like 5 days left, so it is what it is. We'll get there when we get there. That is what that is. Number two is this story has come out with some new information. If you remember the JP Morgan sexual scandal, where JP Morgan offered. Also, is my YouTube Twitter working? Okay, it is. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. JP Morgan offered a $1 million settlement before sexual assault claims went viral. In April, this guy's lawyers countered the $1 million offer with a proposal to settle the dispute for $11.75 million. Take the one guaranteed, or take a chance, roll the dice, and shoot for the stars at 11.75. And oh my God, did he shoot? Oh my God, did he shoot? Chat, what are you doing? You rolling the dice for 11, or you taking the guaranteed one? That's a lot of money, guaranteed one. But he's also like an exec at JP Morgan. He probably makes a lot of fucking money. Makes a lot of money. I'm rolling the dice all day, every day. And so, oh, he rolled the dice. Did he ever? Large? Second, as I was told, we need to watch this before we start the stream. This Mizkift fellow, who I don't really know who this is doing a trading challenge with his stream chat for $300,000. I was told I need to watch it on stream. I have not watched it yet.
Large? 30K? I think we could do 30K. 30K? All right, so we're going to click buy. All right. So now we're going to click buy. And
Robbing a desktop is terrible, huh?
We could do a limit. So right now it's trading at $378.31. So you guys are voting if we should buy or skip on AMD. Wait, this is cool, dude. Solutions. Nice job with this shit, bro. You're in. We did it. Hey, good shit, chat. You're in your first.
It's not a great sign, guys. It's not a great sign.
Trade. Congrats. Whoa, you're already up. You're already up. Look at that. 900 bucks. You're already up. Oh, you're up $1,000 already. Hey, look at that. Look at that. You're up 300. You're at 301,000. You're up already $1,000, chat, with that 30G rate. Oh shit. There you go. You're up good job, chat. Good job.
Man. That is not the best sign, actually. Also, they're up a lot. What's the tape? 378 AMD. Yeah, they're up a lot. It's 421. They're up a lot. They're they're up a lot. They're up like a lot from that if they held. That is not the best sign. What you're going to see here, the thing about the last leg in the euphoric stage, which we've definitely entered in stocks, is that it goes a lot higher and harder and longer than you think, right? I think the cat had a good tweet about this, actually. Let's read this tweet real quick. It goes on for a lot longer than you think it could happen. He goes, stock indices literally up only, starting to look not real, almost uneasy feeling. Usually I start to feel this much sooner than an actual blow off the top, though. That is something to call out. But what I think we're about to see is Miskiff going on bank stream tomorrow. Actually? Is that confirmed or no? What I think we're about to see, if I had to guess, and we'll do market close in 1 minute. I'm almost done with the intros, and I'm going to talk about Zcash. What we're about to see is every influencer, content creator, streamer. Fuck, Luke, we fucked up the Twitter. It's not working. I knew it wasn't working. What we're about to see is every... Tell me if Twitter is working real quick. I got to get this right before I start the actual stream. Every influencer, streamer, all of this, the final pivot is financial content. It's got to be. It just is. It's financial content. And again, like I said, it goes on, I think, a lot longer and higher than you probably think. But we're going to see everybody go to it. It's not working. Let me fix it real quick. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, main OBS. I clicked the wrong one. I'm fucking retarded. My bad. Let me tweet this. Hold on. Let me delete the last one. Twitch.tv/threadguy. Okay, cool. We're good. And so it's going to be very good for us because this entire cohort is going to be actively trading. They're active traders, and it's just going to further the type of things that we're able to buy on this mega church attention, tunnel vision, single assets, get this like reflexive move. When the higher they pump, the further they go, and the higher they pump, the further they go type of approach. But it's going to feel frothy. And I don't know. We're just going to follow it closely. This is a interesting sign here. So we'll see. Think he thought we'll take all their money. Yes, the fuck he will. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. We have market close in just about 1 minute. I guess we'll watch this and then we'll start. I've been talking about this a lot recently that I don't really have the best leverage math, risk management type of approach. Let's watch this. We'll get into market close. Let's have a fucking stream, brothers.
How far out into the future do you think you can see?
Well, I'm in the risk management business, so I don't take it for granted that I can see behind. I don't think I could see 4 inches into the future. Yeah. I'd say that most of my...
But your firm has a reputation of being pretty good at understanding the future and being able to make some analysis as to about what risk to take.
Well, I'll confess to you that what I think we aspire to is less foresee the future and more be a great contingency planner. Because, and sometimes if you contingency plan really well,
yeah, old CEO of Goldman Sachs, thank you.
Respond very fast to what's happening because you thought through all the possibilities, you can get off the mark so quickly it looks like you false started. It looks like you anticipated the start when all you've really done was listen so closely and knew what you were going to do that you got off the mark quickly. I think it's hard enough to,
Who is Charlie? Is that him?
Predict the present. Yeah. You know, think about it, perspective. It's very hard to step out of your context and see what is happening. I have views about the future, but I'll tell you, we're not in the business. You wouldn't be a very good risk manager if you let what you think was going to happen have too great an influence on what you plan for and protect it against. What we really
with the interviewer.
do is we really contingency plan. What might happen, what could happen.
Okay, the last thing I'm going to say, we'll go market close, is like I'm reading this book, and Steve Cohen, one of the greatest fund managers of all time, is founder of... It wasn't 0.72 he was talking about, though. What is there one before 0.72? Before 0.7. Is one before 0.72? SOS or something? SAC, yes. Yes! SAC. And he's talking about his best traders ever. His best traders that have ever come through SAC. His best traders have about a 55, maybe 60% hit rate. And all that means, if you only have a 55 to 60% hit rate, is you better let your winners fucking ride and cut your losers short. They all come back to risk management. It's fucking lit. You love to see it. And on that note, market closed 5 minutes ago. Let's talk about it. It was a fucking electric one. Okay, tell me, what are you in? What did you buy? What did you sell? What did you make money on? What did you lose money on? What do you like? What do you hate? What are you looking to add? What are you looking to cut? What do you, I don't know. What are you bullish on? What are you bearish on? What do you think's going higher? What do you think's going lower? What do you got? Looking to buy Ton. Ton up crazy. Yes, it is. I watched Ken Griffin interview. He said something similar. Bink VVV, congrats. Long Ton 2 at 2x because missed. Light is the next Sanders. First chatter. Zeke hype barbell. Raz Loki cooked on Ton. What's his entry? VVV all-time high break. It was a really clean one. I wish I traded it. I'm so like tunnel vision right now, but it was a fun one. Been unstable since the bottom. Is that the one that's got Binance? What else? Galaxy punting soul. Good luck, brother. Punting you are. Holding hype spot, of course. Nice. Let's see how hype is looking. This is a crazy day in the market. SanDisk and Micron are running crazy. Gold, silver, Intel, Zcash. That's a nice port. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Amazon, Intel, Micron. Having fun scalping Cerebro. Dude, seriously? Crypto goes up for 1 day and you come in this chat talking about I'm scalping Cerebro. What the man, this is why, bro. This is why. It's like every time Bitcoin goes up 1%, I'm long XPL. It's just like, dog, why do you do this? Keep it to yourself, man. What? Somebody save him. Someone tell me some good shit you're long before we look. Someone tell me something good you're long before I look. Please. Please. XPL is cool. They are fresh. Please. OSS. Ton. Thread. Bring Julian Pachulis on. I'm working on it. He told me yes, but it's going to be a little bit. Mothercoin. Nebius. IONQ. Goat token. Fuck you, bro. Samsung. Decentralized SanDisk. FIL. ARM. Looks nice. Up fat on Zcash and Ton. Venice, nice. Mother, LMAO. Bowden, Oracle, Near. What else? Near looks good. Near looks good. XPL is long. Fartcoin though. All right. I'm long Bonkio. What about Serenity? What about him? You TP Zach? Chat, you think I TP'd Zach before we look at the market? What do you think? I haven't said anything about anything. Triple T for the win. You think I TP'd Zach or no? I'm a fucking freak is what I am. Okay, we got earnings coming out. All right, let's go. Market close just happened, and it was a fucking electric one, if I do say so myself. Bam! SPY closes at 734, an emphatic all-time high, up 1.43% on the news that the war was over, and then the news that was fake, that the war actually isn't over, but it might be over soon. It's the 15th time we've gotten that headline. Every time we get it, it goes up. I don't think he should declare the war. He should just keep doing this. Just declare it over, then actually say, never mind, it's almost over. And every time we do it, the market goes higher. SPX as well closes at 73.65. It's an all-time high. And I mean, this is just one of the craziest charts you will maybe ever see. I don't know what to say. Every day it goes higher and higher and higher. We are now up 17% on the S&P 500. 17% in 38 days from the local bottom where Trump threatened to nuke Carg Island. That is 17% on the S&P 500. Disgusting. Disgusting. And so when I get to crypto in a minute, and I'm going to talk about it kind of negatively, and everyone's going to say, thread guy, thread guy. No, the S&P's up 7. S&P 500 is up more than most altcoins right now. Okay? It's not that impressive what crypto's doing, but we'll get there when we get there. Hold on. QQQ is up 2%. That is up 26% from Carg Island bottoms. 26%. 26% on the Qs. IGV, the worst index ever, the worst ETF ever created. This vehicle should cease to exist. Down 0.5%. The semi ETF, how about this one? It's from Carg Island bottoms. SOX is up 65%. 65. 65 in 37 days. Disgusting. Every day it feels frothy. Every day it goes higher. The Dow ticked 50K for the first time since Pam Bondi, and it looks really good. NASDAQ up 1.3. Look at this thing. NASDAQ is up 26 in its own right since Carg Island scares. And then last but not least is the Kospi, which is insane. Japan index up, or the South Korea index, excuse me, is up 47% gross. Moving on. Cryptocurrency. What are you in? What are you in? What are you in? Yesterday we had a scare. I don't know if I would call it a scare. Michael Saylor, the guy who has bet his entire life, his company's life, his career, his legacy, his everything on Bitcoin, that finally looks good for the first time in a long time, breaks 80,000. He goes on earnings after they miss EPS by 100% and says that they're thinking about maybe selling Bitcoin at some time in the near future. Got a red candle. It's up about 1% on the day. Doodle Research, thank you for the 10 gifted, brother. I appreciate you. Bitcoin is 81.6. Again, I'm sorry, uninspiring on Bitcoin. I don't know what to tell you. It is holding us back. It is holding us back, but it is what it is. We'll get there when we get there. The VIX is about 0.5%. Zcash, quantum resistant private Bitcoin, is at $561. It's up 9% on the day. Ton has made this list, although it should be on the alt list. It's trading at $2.40, give or take. It's up 23% on the day. Hyperliquid 43 looks pretty good. ETH, uninspiring, boring, flat, lame, 23.50. Solana the same, although maybe he's gonna have a little bit of juice here, but I don't know why you would sling Solana right now. Monero flat, BTCD flat, and then 10-year is down, 30-year is down 1.7 and 1% respectively. Gold putting in a decent candle, and silver putting in a really nice one, up 7%. Dollar down half. Stretch is edging 100. You know, when it gets to 100, the money printer turns on for Sailor, and it's not there yet. It is not there yet. Energy, oil, everything down a lot. Crude is down 7. Brent is down 8. $100. Awesome. Remember the stream the other day when I said, are you long in this chart? Right here. It looked longable, but straight down only since. Funny enough, remember this chart, this TLN? I haven't talked about this in like a week. This is what Claude told us to long as Bloom Energy Beta, TLN. I don't even know what it is. It's some Talon Energy Corporation. Is up a lot. Looks really nice. 410 up 7% today. Defense rate RTX up a little bit. Lockheed up a little bit. Then Palantir is just getting crushed. Beat earnings too, getting crushed. Why use Claude over 5.5? I don't. It was 2 weeks ago. Our fertilizers and chemicals are down. Tulip King, what are we thinking? Big tech just put in an unbelievable day. AMD, $700 billion stock, is up 20% today. 20% on AMD. I mean, this is up more than TON. It's a $700 billion company. It's up more than TON today. It's up more than Zcash. It's up 2x Zcash. 20% day. ARM is breaking out of a crazy one. Look at this. Get out while you can. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking parabolic. ARM up 13. Rocket Lab, all the space names have been doing pretty bad, but Rocket Lab looks good. Threadguy shitting on crypto. This is nothing new, even though my whole network's in crypto. ASML, nice day. NVIDIA putting together a very nice day. This would be a fun, re-long Mando strat over 212, I think. You would like to see NVIDIA really make a move here, and things could continue to get crazier than they already have. Outside of that, Oracle puts in a nice candle. Intel, just a monster. 113 up 5% today. This is a $600 billion company. I mean, these moves are unfathomable. Micron, another one, up 4%. Since the Air Mass full port at the Pico top after a 6-month hiatus, he is now up 29%, assuming it's spot, and it is probably not. We're going to see him on stream maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. QCOM up 3. Google, another one. 395. And since the Carg Island nuke lows, Google is up 46%. Google is worth $4.82 trillion, and it has almost surpassed NVIDIA. That is now $5 trillion company. Tesla up 2, but you know I hate Tesla. Marvell looks fine. Meta, ugly, and nothing else super notable. Sive is a Serenity and some whiff name. It is down 11%. Let's go consumer stocks, altcoins, and then talk about my Zcash trade. Nebby is up, crazy day. Iran, crazy day. Circle, crypto stocks look pretty good, up 6. GME, Ryan Cohen is on a tear, is up 4%. IBKR, you know I love this, is up 4. Hood up 3. It's just Bitcoin bait. I don't really know why you would own Hood. I stand by this. Why would you own Hood? I don't know. Hims is up 2. Nike, the worst stock ever, is up 2. Actually, no. Figma is the worst stock ever, down 1. And Snapchat earnings looks like a miss. It's down 3% after hours. I think it's today. Coinbase flat. And P4 posted about Bitcoin. Is that true? Because I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to type in pee poo poo, and I trust the chat so much that I'm going to play this. And while I do that, I'm going to go to Twitter. And I'm going to pull this up. And what does this mean? Does it bull? What is this? Bull post? What does this mean? Low energy asset class. Yeah, he's hating because I mean, crypto sucks right now. It's just like so uninspiring and underwhelming. It doesn't move. None of it moves. Everyone's declaring crypto back, and I'm just not ready to do it. I'm not ready to do it. I'm not ready to do it, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's go to altcoins, then on-chain. TON leading the way. 290s up 23%. Venice, monster, absolute monster, is up 20%. This would be a really fun long. Like, this is a generous previous all-time high, but this would have been a fun one. This would have been a very fun one. I can't lie. You could be up like 15% on the safest all-time high break ever. It's a really cool one. I like it. Near's up 17, but chart looks like shit. Farcoin's up 13. Athena up 10. Zcash up 10. XPL. Tau looks pretty good. Jupiter, nothing else. I mean, why call anything else out on this list? Chip is just a disaster. What else do I care about? Pump Fun. No thanks. No thanks. Last but not least, let us scroll over to the on-chain side of things, and we will start with, where's Quant? I can't look before I see Quant type in the chat. Where are you, Quant? Where are you, buddy? Where are you? Don't you feel like deleting half the tickers? Yes, I do. Let's see. I checked this only during stream. Wow. That actually looks pretty good. That actually looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That little fucker looks ready to pop. There's only like 5 crypto tokens even worth being on the watch list. What do we care about on chain? Bernie. Trash. Cards. Nice. 40. USDUC got a Binance listing for no apparent reason. It was at 2 mil and dead. Got a Binance listed that was obviously front ran, by the way. It's awesome. Obviously front ran. I mean, what is this? Are you kidding me? What is this? Just crime, yeah. Takabu. Yeah, nothing else really notable, I don't think. Anything you want me to look at on chain before I move on? I want to talk about Zcash. Check Asteroid 5-man. Fine, bro. Only because you show up every day. Whoa. Interesting. They ate that thing up, huh? Check Sato, SATO. Dude, no. Still hold SPX 6900. I do. I bought 10K on the Murad stream. Is it? It's on ETH, right? Or is it on Solana? It's on ETH. Nice. I'm down a lot. Check Scam Altman. Stop. Dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. And that is where we leave the day today. Now, come on, man. You know, it's just like, all right, we have 45 minutes or something like this before Robert Leshner comes on. And usually we spend this time talking about stocks. But what if I told you we're instead going to spend this time talking about cryptocurrency and war? Let's start with war really fast. Bang, bang, bang. There was some fuck shit going on in the war order books. What's new? I'll just tell you the story real quick. I woke up in the middle of the night, 4 a.m. I check my charts. I just roll over out of bed and I check it and I see. Let's see what the chart was on Zach. Okay, I wake up. I see Zcash. First thing I do is open TradingView. I see Zcash at like 600, and I'm like, wait, what? I open my phone. Instantly, notification, Walter Bloomberg, USA-Iran war over. Bro, I fall back in my chair, in my bed, and I was just like, God got me, man. God fucking got me. Well, newsflash, USA-Iran war is not over. Okay, it's not. So here's what we have. A couple things real quick. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the war, but it's not over. Trump tweets this today, or he truths this, assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary epic fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts, and it will be, sadly, at a much higher level and intensity than it was before. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. So the bit is that Axios has reported an Iran deal being imminent 5 times in 19 days. Okay. Axios is basically just Trump comps. Why does the same story keep coming from the same reporter? His name is Barak Ravid. Deep sources in the White House and Israeli intelligence. Every time the administration needs to pressure Iran or move oil, Ravid gets the call. Is he reporting news or delivering a message? 760 million in oil shorts placed 21 minutes before the April 20 Iran announcement. Who knew? Yesterday, Trump paused the naval operation in Hormuz. Markets rallied, but 0 U.S. ships crossed the strait on Tuesday. Iran says they have not even begun yet. Does this sound like a deal? Iran wants 5 years on enrichment. U.S. demands 20. Is that a negotiation or a performance? And so the one thing I'll say is, look, the sources are literally feeding rabid fake information to make it difficult for oil traders to hold on to long positions. Every time the industry is already getting VAR shock. So instead of holding futures trading, we're going to pivot to holding oil call options. The thing I'm going to say is it's never been more the case than it is right now. Trading oil, I'm telling you, is, bro, it's an IQ test. It is. It's an IQ test. Longing oil here is just like, you're playing a broken game if you're trying to do it. You're playing a broken game. You're playing a broken game. If you wanna like long oil, you know what you could do? You could do this. If you want a long oil, you could do something like this. It's only at 5%. Damn, this was high. 24. I was gonna say, yeah, never mind. 5%. What the fuck are we doing with 5%? Never mind. I tried. But look at this. Where's that? Here it is. Look at this. 3:40 a.m. Crude oil shorts worth $920 million are taken. Flat. 450. I woke up at 450. Axios reports that a deal to end the Iran war is imminent. Down only. 7 a.m. Crude oil shorts profit $125 million. Then the announcement closes. Then the announcement comes out that, actually, we're not quite there yet. It's an IQ test, brother. It's a complete IQ test. And I wouldn't touch it. I would not touch it. You could not pay me to get back in an oil trade. You couldn't pay me to get back in an oil trade. But what you could pay me to stay in is this token right here. All right. You want to hear my thesis? Let's talk about crypto. I want to talk about TON. I want to talk about Zcash. I want to talk about why I'm angry at crypto and I'm not convinced yet. I want to talk about everything in between. We have 45 minutes, give or take, until Robert Leshner comes on, the godfather of DeFi, and I have a couple rants I want to go on. Okay? I have a lot I want to talk about. Before we do it, I'm going to get up real quick. I'm going to fill my water up. I'm going to get a cough drop. I'm sick still. I'm going to be ready. I'll be back in 30 seconds, and I'm going to give you my full thesis. BRB. Let's get it. All right. Let's go. All right. Where should we start? Where should we start? Is that fucked? All right. So here's where we're at right now. Zcash is trading at $565. Bitcoin, which is the most significant here, is trading at 81,590. Hyperliquid 43.4. TON back at $4. They're just stair walking this thing up. ETH, not interesting. Everything else in between. So basically, if we're being objective and real and honest right now, the most interesting crypto assets are TON and Zcash. Okay? Zcash on the big chart here is I mean, it looks nuts. It looks nuts. It's up from my entry. I probably averaged like 380 entry. I bought the whole way up. Is up like 50%. Top tick 60%, and I have 4x leverage. It's about right, 200%. Let's start with my Zeke trade, and then we could talk about the rest of crypto. So I done this yesterday, and I explained that I basically think this is like a once a year type of setup for the Zcash trade, and I didn't exactly have that type of a conviction when I entered it, but watching the bids, I mean, look at these volume spikes. If you think back, there was a crazy move that happened. The first time a crazy move happened, if you remember, I was long on Peter Schiff's stream. And that was right here. I was long a little bit. Peter Schiff during the stream, if you remember this, it was the first time we saw this crazy, just like unreal, like from what? From 335 to 390 in like 15 minutes. Peter Schiff was on the stream. Crazy volume pop. Or maybe it was this. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was this one from like 277 to like 320. Pop. Then you get another one. Pop. And this thing had basically just been trading with these like crazy, like you just get like 317 and like 350, 15-minute pop, pop. These crazy volume candles. And so I first took a position at right around here, 350, give or take, because I'm just looking at the chart and I am looking at the stock market and I'm looking at how much everything is up. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, there's only a couple crypto assets that are good that anyone would even consider bidding. I'm pretty just sick of Bitcoin. I already have exposure. It's obviously Zeke. And so I bid like 350. I bid 360, bid 370, I bid 380, 390, and then I slammed like 405. Funny enough, I had my biggest buy yet at like 450, and I pussied out and I canceled the buy order. I probably bid 60% of what I was going to buy at 450 at like 405 and just called it a day. I didn't add to it. And this thing has basically gone parabolic since then. And so it's by far my biggest trade of the year, unrealized P&L. And it's probably my biggest trade since Trump. And I sold $0 so far. I've sold $0. I haven't sold a penny of it. And this is like the hard part of the trade. The easy part was buying and holding up to here because it's basically been up only. I think the hard leg of the trade is now, because it doesn't ever just slice through all-time high in one go, right? Like it can't, I mean, it could, but it realistically for this thing, it's 4x leverage. It's probably a little bit high, but I got bailed out by an easy ride so far. To go from like 317 and 3x basically, like slice ATH in 800 range in a straight green line is just probably not going to happen. And so the hard leg comes now for the way that I'm thinking about this trade, because it's never just slices all time high without some fuckery. We had Mando on yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever, and we were talking about this. And then second is the longer it takes, the more time you have for fuckery, right? You have Bitcoin not reacting. You have war stuff not cooperating. You have escalation. Oil could pump. Sailor could do some more fuckery dumb shit. Like, it's just the longer the trade drags on, the more room you have to stop it going up only in a straight line. And so I have no stop loss. And I've basically just, all right, I'll give you my thesis again of why I did this. And I was sitting up last night in the middle of the night, 6 a.m., staring at my wall and my ceiling. And I'm just thinking about it. And I'm like, I made this tweet today. I said buying the bottom is the easy part. I think the hardest part about trading, by far, the hardest part about trading is letting your real winners ride. Letting your real winners ride. And GCR has that tweet. And he's like, you got to think of your Ponzi's like prize fighters. Winners win, losers lose. And I am just looking at this, and I entered it for a reason, okay? The reason I entered this trade the way that I entered it, with conviction and size and just balls on the table, is you look around once again. Like, the stock market added $1 trillion today, okay? Bitcoin is worth $1.6 trillion. Stock market added $1 trillion today. Okay, that's a 1.4% move in the S&P. Okay, the S&P is up 17% in a month. Okay, these charts, the biggest companies in the world are up unfathomable amounts of money. Okay, Nvidia, AMD, Micron, even Tesla, Apple, Google, Amazon. I mean, these charts are just like out. SanDisk, Nokia. These charts, Bloom Energy, Sive, the Serenity List, LPK, AXTI, Light, Marvell, Poet Sucks, ARM. These charts are out of a fucking movie. And so it really just came down to me where I'm like, all right, everyone everywhere is hilariously rich, okay? But they're not just rich in semis. They're not just rich in semis, because the semi profits rotated to photonics. And the photonics profits rotated to Korean stocks in the Korean stock market. And everything everywhere across every sector, rip, 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 rip. And I look at crypto as historically one of the most reflexive pump assets of all time. But the problem with crypto is it's found itself in this really weird spot where it has become relatively uninvestable outside of a couple pockets. And I really am feeling this right now. Like, you should not be excited about Bitcoin right now with Bitcoin price action. You just shouldn't be. It's like, this is, I mean, honestly, I come at this from a place of love. I come at this from a place of 33% of my net worth is in Bitcoin. The chart's pathetic. This chart is a joke. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I don't know what to tell you. Google added a 33% of last Friday. Google added 33% of the Bitcoin market cap in one session, bro. That would be Bitcoin. That would be Bitcoin to like 120K today. Today. It's pathetic. Okay. And so you look at crypto as this reflexive, can really rip liquidity valve type of asset class. And I just feel like there's a couple spots. Bitcoin could, should, and would be one of them. I have 33% of my net worth in it. I'm not going to stop holding it. I'm going to continue to hold it. Zcash, or let's go Hyperliquid first, is obviously one of them, right? I think that's like confirmed, obviously one of them for obvious reasons. And then Zcash is just like, I love it. I love it because it is, one, it's like $8 billion. It's pennies. Two, it has like freshly shown its an ability to pump like no other. It has the institutional love where the people are doing the DATs, the Winklevoss twins are coming in, like. It has this privacy narrative, which I think is giga undervalued. And it is the antithesis of the Bitcoin narrative. The problem with Bitcoin is like Bitcoin, one, people are mad Bitcoin is public. Two, people are mad that Saylor has a centralized amount of Bitcoin. He owns way too much. And three, everyone's upset with the quantum problem. And so you look at Zcash and forget completely if it works or not. I'm not in the business of does the tech work. I'm in the business of narrative. I'm in the business of narrative and trading charts. And the narrative in the chart says it fucking works. It's quantum resistant. It's everything Bitcoin's not. And so I just looked at this thing at $350 or whatever and said to myself, I just think this is a once a year type of setup. Everything everywhere has ripped unfathomable amounts. Everyone everywhere has gotten so rich on every sector, and crypto hasn't moved. There's only a couple things to buy in crypto, and I'm down to do my dick on the table and see what happens. And so why don't you like it at $40? I don't know. I'll tell you what, I liked it at fucking 270 to 700. I'll tell you that. I liked it at 270, 700. And so, yeah, here I sit. Easy part of the trade is done. And this is now the hard part, but I just think this is what I think. I think if crypto is really back, if we're really doing this, which I'm not convinced we are because this thing just doesn't look that exciting. No volume breakout, nothing. What I think is if we are really back on crypto and we're really going to get the reflexive move, this thing is going to go parabolic. This thing is going to go parabolic, and Bitcoin puts in a 10% day. That's what I think. And if it doesn't happen, one, I think we have real plumbing problems on crypto, and we are in trouble. And two, I'm down to round trip many six figures on the trade. I am. I'm down to do it. If I round trip it, I round trip it. If I round trip it, I round trip it. But I just think it's not that often where you get the setup. I don't know. I don't think you get it that often. I don't think you get the setup that often. And I want to win, bro. I want to win. I want to win. And so if I round trip, I round trip. But I think it's a rare spot. And I think if you believe in, if you have faith in crypto, we should go crazy here. Really. I mean, everything is on the table. Everything is on the table. Everything's on the table. We should win and go. Like, it should happen like now on crypto. It really should. It should happen now. I mean, again, these charts. AMD is a $700 billion stock put in a 20% day, brother. Put in a that's nine figure. That's not nine figure, brother. That's a 11 figure. $100 billion plus type of day. They put in 10x the market cap of Zcash intraday. And so if we're really here and we're really back to play, Bitcoin should just put in this ridiculous. I think it should happen. I really do. I think it should happen. Now, on that topic, I think there's a lot of reasons to be excited for certain spots in crypto right now. And at the very least, we're deserving of the last couple of days of PA. We are. We're deserving of the last couple of days of price action. If you're a diehard crypto participant. Also, if you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. And so I want to talk crypto resurgence and then macro crypto. That's my Zcash trade. I'm gonna sit in this thing for all-time high slam, or I'm gonna round trip it and whatever. What can you do? You know, what can you do? You just like, don't get that many good setups. You don't get that many good setups. I could sell right now, but you told me to sell it. You know, it's like you could always sell. You don't get that many good setups, and sometimes when you take them, you take them. You know, not every setup is the same. And I just think, I don't know, like, you look at this and sometimes you just put that fucker into fifth gear, man. Sometimes you just put that fucker into fifth gear. So I'm sitting in it. I don't advise anyone to do anything. And I don't advise you to tail me. I'm brutal to tail, by the way. I'll wake up. I swear I'll end stream in 30 minutes and sell everything I owe in a second if I get the tingle the other direction. So don't tail me ever for anything. I'm the worst person to tail for anything. I suck at. I'm like the worst person to copy trade. You should never do it. But there are a couple things to go over with crypto resurgence, and we're going to talk about it over stocks because I think it's an exciting time to talk about crypto. Number one, at the beginning of Ansem tweet, Ansem old PFP back, by the way. Ansem bull market PFP back. Give me some W's for that. That is what I like to see on my feed. That is what I like to see on my feed. Okay. At the beginning of every crypto bull market, to create wealth effect plus bring back retail attention, you need one crypto major to go parabolic, one crypto meme to go parabolic. In 2017, 18, it was Bitcoin XRP. In 2021, it was ETH and Doge. In 23, 24, it was Sol and Pepe. I will say, like, again, this thing is on its way. Printing the type of candles that makes people believe again. I think this TON thing is very interesting as well. Because it's interesting about TON is, let's see, I have a tweet in here. What's interesting about TON is, I think for the first time in a while, crypto coins, TON. How do you say it? TON? TON? I don't know. I think it's TON. Coins are going up on good news and going not going down on bad news. Okay. And so number one is like bear market. I don't know, a month ago, if Pavel Durov comes out and starts bull posting Ton, I don't think it moves. Not like this. It doesn't. I don't think it moves like this. If this was a month ago, I really don't. I don't think it does a month ago. But here we are, and Pavel comes out with an announcement, and you get this like 2x candle. It's pretty inspiring. Second side is Sailor comes out yesterday, and says MicroStrategy is considering maybe selling BTC, whatever. Barely goes down. I don't even know which candle it was. Was it this? Goes down 1% and some change, and then boom, back up completely. Just eats it. No real FUD. Everybody already moved on. And those are the type of signs that you want to see, right? Like we've seen this in markets all the time. It's like when there's good news, and for a while this has been crypto for the last year. Good news and price is not reacting positively. That is bad. Okay, that is bad. Bad news and price doesn't care and or goes up. That is good. It's been the stock market with the war the whole time. It's been the stock market with the war. It's like bad news, bad news, bad news, and we're flat or green. Flat or green on bad news means we're green. Here's a take on it. One of the biggest holders of BTC goes like, maybe we'll sell some. Price goes up. Love to see that. I think that was an important candle yesterday because for as kind of bored as I am with BTC, you have to admit it's boring. It's boring. It doesn't do anything. It's boring. As boring as it is right now, the fact that it didn't go back to 75, 76, like panic dumping, I think people really want to see this thing go up here. I do. I do believe it. So here's a good post. I haven't read this yet, but let's read it. You should be buying when it's boring, not fudding stream. What part of I have 33% of my net worth in Bitcoin is like getting lost in translation? I'm just telling you what the tape says, which is that objectively, compared to the rest of the market, it's uninspiring. That could change in a second. You know how Bitcoin moves. It could change in a second, but I mean, every stock that is related to AI is just higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And if that wasn't happening, I don't know if we are getting these trickle-down green candles. So here's a post on it I haven't read, but I think is important, potentially a good one. On the topic of MSTR selling BTC. First, it's nothing new. They've been signaling for months now that selling BTC to fund dividends was an option. It was already the case on the last earnings call. I feel like they have referenced this before, by the way. I don't think that was the first time this has been called out, but we'll come back to it. It's true, though, that they looked even more open to this idea on yesterday's earnings call. What's also new is that they explained for the first time that the theoretical threshold to choose selling BTC over MSTR to fund dividends was not 1x MNAV, but 1.22. There's a pretty big statement because it sort of forces them to stick to their word and sell Bitcoin below that level instead of selling MSTR shares. I think they want to get rid of if they sell a single Bitcoin, it's over for them narrative. They will sell some Bitcoin, everyone will realize that nothing happens, and all the people who are parroting the stupid statement will be proved wrong once again. Good point. Maybe the most important thing to realize is that they only have to pay $125 million in dividends per month. Selling $125 million worth of Bitcoin per month has basically zero impact on the price. And even if you think that, quote, it's about the narrative impact, then let me remind you that they are already selling $125 million a month of a closed derivative of BTC, which is the MSTR common stock. What they're also signaling yesterday is that they want to see MNAV go up again. To be honest, this reminds me of the time when they said they wouldn't sell MSTR shares below 2.5x MNAV. These were the guidelines that they never respected, so take all of their plans with a grain of salt. Stating that they are likely to sell BTC increases optionality for strategy, and that's IMO a good thing. Another positive consequence is that for the first time, we are seeing a path where the BTC stack of MSTR doesn't only go up. For those people who are scared about Sailor holding too much BTC for the asset to remain decentralized, this should be viewed positively. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's a big deal. I just don't. I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think they're going to sell enough to have any real impact on BTC. I mean, fuck it. When they buy a ton, nothing happens either positively. And I don't think the narrative matters that much. I really don't. If anything, people should be excited for Saylor to lower his Bitcoin exposure. I don't think the market, this whole like, if they sell $1, it's not the Satoshi tokens. It's like if they sell $1, Bitcoin's gonna crater. I just don't think it is. If you own Bitcoin, are you selling if Saylor sells $1? I'm not. I hold BTC. I'm not selling if Saylor sells a little bit. I'm curious. If you hold Bitcoin, are you selling if he sells? There's no correct answer, but I'm genuinely curious. Are you a seller if Saylor's a seller? Yeah, it's like not here. Maybe at 126K. Sure. Fine. Maybe I might get scared. That's fine. That's fair. I just I don't think it's a huge deal, and the reason I don't think it's a huge deal is because the market is telling me it's not a huge deal. If we were at 78K, then yeah, we got a problem, but we're not, and we don't. And so I can sleep happy knowing that that is the case. A couple more like crypto bull posts is one. Nearest the bottom of the bear market, you often get consensus on which coins are the most promising for the coming years because those are the smart people that are still here and didn't blow themselves up in the previous cycle. This is in fact smart consensus, not general consensus. Zcash and Hyperliquid coded. I will say, if it does become the case that crypto has a Zcash hype barbell that outperforms, or even Monero Hyperliquid barbell that outperforms, it's definitely our best barbell in a while. Like 21 was what Sol Luna AVAX. Luna AVAX was part of our barbell. Is awful. 24, what was the barbell in 24? Like Solana and Athena, I guess. Athena. Athena was a little bit weird. Let's see, where's Ina? Ina. Was Ina like 24? Where was this go parabolic? Yeah. Damn, this is a crazy move. Bottom to top, 550%. Celestia was when? Yeah, this was like coming out of the bear. Celestia went from $2 to 21. I mean, the barbell, yeah, Tia, what a time. 24 was mostly memes. It was kind of like Pepe Solana barbell or like Whiff Solana type of thing, which to be fair is pretty good. But a Zcash hype barbell is pretty inspiring. Two more posts here. One, I took a small position in Ton, very small position in Ton when I saw this post. Because it seems like he's going hard. And I know I said that there is a WorldCoin parallel here, which I cannot deny that there is a WorldCoin parallel here, which is like goated company that doesn't care about the token that's been down only for years. And it's like a complete washout. There also is the Aster CZ like parallel as well. You could pick one. Call that a barbell, huh? And so he posted this. Ton leads layer 1 blockchains in finality time. And this is the post. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but I think you get the point here. Cardano takes a day is wild. But the thing about this I think is interesting is I know nothing about the token. From what I understand, the token kind of sucks. And historically has been really bad. Unlock, cucked, down only, Foundation Labs problem What is it? Is it legal? Can you talk about it a little bit everywhere? But it is reacting positively to positive news, which is like a new thing in crypto. It feels ridiculous to say this, but I mean, for a while in crypto, it felt like Nvidia could partner with Solana and it wouldn't make it go up. And so good news or positive news is creating positive price action on a crypto token is like not something that has happened for a while. And so I will say that when you see that, it feels good. It does. It genuinely does feel good. Coming out of what we've come out of. It's like, I mean, you guys here are some warriors. I'm not going to lie. There's some warriors in this chat. It's like, we fucking, you know, are you a genius or are you a retard for sticking through? I don't know. But there are some warriors in this chat. I will say that. So there's a couple of Zcash theses I like, and then I'm going to talk about the next Frank general crypto take, which I really like. I'm going to give you some optimism to barbell counter my negativity. So it goes Zcash, Gcash, and then thesis. You cannot replicate Zcash's decade-long proof-of-work distribution of coins. Most people in crypto have never, ever been exposed to a coin that's purely PvE like this, with the exception of early Bitcoin. And then there's a post from the Short Bear, who, if you don't know the Short Bear, he's actually going to be featured in the next Market Wizards book, which is like my favorite book ever. I love this shit with all my heart. Jack Schweiger. He's featured in the next book that's coming out. And Thread, all cool, G. I just rage baited you and got me blocked. Yeah, your rage bait was whack. That shit kind of pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. People are funny on Twitter because it's like you'll say some dumbass shit and then you get snapped at and then you're like, oh, like you took the rage bait. It's like, no, you're like, you just suck. You know, it's like, no, you actually just suck. It's not rage bait. It's like, you're just a clown. So all love, welcome to the chat, and you are welcome here. But I can't unblock you. The post was whack. I'm sorry, the post was whack. It blew me. Like it blew me. I want to tell you, like, congrats on the rage bait, I guess, but it blew me. So it's just like, bro, my cortisol is sacred, you know. And so you come in here and you spike it, and then you get blocked. I won't block you from Twitch though. You're welcome to stay in the Twitch chat. So here's the Short Bear post. Who funny enough, the Short Bear is his name, has been one of the most bullish crypto. Can you send the pit link? No, we're done. We're done. I will never. It's done. There's no more pit. He's funny enough, you know, the Short Bear is his name. He's been one of the most bullish crypto traders for a while. So he says, I've been here for months. All right, we'll see what I can do at the end. Zcash casually ramping 25% in 2 hours. I think the potential is misunderstood in crypto, driven by capital flows having been redirected into AI, keeping the bid dormant in the space. We know this has been happening. Private versus open to future ETH and for now Zcash. The problem is he loves ETH. I hate ETH, but it is what it is. Decentralized, slower but safer versus centralized, faster. ETH for Sol. Trading and gambling, hype and Sol. Gold alternative, Bitcoin. I'll state it once more. I think this cycle will be about the infrastructure needs of crypto led by AI agent needs for infrastructure. Boring thesis, but probably works. Micropayments, identity, speed, settlement, decentralized, smart contract security. Crypto does not have one use case for AI. It matches the needed infrastructure for every step of autonomous or non-autonomous efficiency. ETH and many projects lost their bid with IGV, making crypto worth as much as software in an AI world. The repricing can be seen via the IWM correlation shifting to IGV. The new cycle will likely reprice, especially ETH, as infrastructure and not software, and as complementary to AI rather than against it. Look, I don't love the ETH thesis at all. I actually would go as far as say that I hate it, but it is cool to see, I don't know, a market wizard being pretty fired up about ETH. And this is the obvious shipping post. When the market starts to react like this to good news, Durov taking a personal stake in the success of Ton and ignores bad news, Sailor potentially selling. There's only one path higher. So here's what I want to talk about for the next 15 minutes before Leshner comes on. Okay? What I want to talk about is this. Frank D. God, November 6, 2025. The next wave of crypto is probably violent repricing of the top 100 crypto coins. Too much bloat and ticking clock. For this reason, I think there will be more volatility in crypto markets, which will introduce new liquidity wanting to take advantage of these higher liquid 2 to 10x's, which will flow downstream to on-chain and inspire a focus on utility and fundamentals. If you think about it, even NFTs had a mini utility meta in the bear. Probably similar with on-chain coins, but hopefully much bigger. The best sailors are forged in choppy waters. Good luck. Now, the reason that I'm continuing to be depressed about crypto, despite the P&L, is the same reason I think you could be optimistic, is that there's nothing to buy. Like, at all. There's nothing to buy. And what that means is that even if no new money, like no profit from stocks or metals or South Korean stock market floated into crypto, crypto money could just reshuffle and violently reprice some names in the top 100. I think this is like a real bull case of the money centralizing across stuff that doesn't suck. And if you look at this top 100, it's alarming. The names on here. Okay, number 1 is Bitcoin, obviously. Number 2 is Ethereum. Number 3 is Tether. Number 4 is XRP, which is worth almost $100 billion, which is insane. But at the same time, AMD added over $100 billion in market cap today. So I don't know. You can have it both ways. 5 is BNB. 6 is USDC. 7 is Solana. 8 is Tron, which is crazy. 9 is Dogecoin. 10 is Hyperliquid. 11 is Cardano, which is the worst thing ever. Shout out Justin Sun, His Excellency, but or not for Tron, but for Cardano. Shout out to I don't know what Charles. It's like there's $10 billion in this thing. You could double Zcash with just the Cardano market cap. You could double it. It's like you could take Zcash to $1,100 with just the Cardano market cap. No new flows. I don't even know what is. I don't even know what this is. Leo. I don't even know what this is. What is this? LEO. I don't even know what this is. Just is stable exchange token. I don't even know what this is. Bitfinex token. Yeah, I don't even know what this is. Zcash is 13. 14 is Bitcoin Cash, which is kind of ridiculous. 15 is Monero. Deserving. Chainlink, fine. Toncoin, fine. Canton, fine. XLM is 19. I mean, I don't even know what this is either. I don't even know what this is. XLM, like what XRP fork, awesome. It's worth $6 billion. Okay. Also, Bitcoin Cash being worth $10 billion is insane to me. Nuts. $10 billion, and in this you could double Zcash. You could send Zcash to $1,500 with just Cardano and Bitcoin Cash. Think about that. With that, you could send it to 2,000 with XLM, Bitcoin Cash, and Cardano. Meme Core, what is this? It's 5 is number 21. What is this? What the fuck is this? Looks pretty good. That looks pretty fucking good. Regardless, it's 21. World Liberty USD 1. Litecoin is worth $5 billion. Avalanche is worth $4 billion. How many active wallets? AVAX active. I wish I could see. No, I don't have a. Someone find me that. Yeah, Litecoin fine. AVAX, which no one. I mean, come on. Sui, 25. HBAR 26. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about? Look at this chart, and this is still 26. Shiba Inu, 28, still worth 4 Bs. Tau, fine. Chronos, I mean, come on, 3 Bs. Uniswap, fine. Mantle, Polkadot, 2 Bs. World Liberty Fi, 2 Bs. Pi, 2 Bs. Sky, fine. OKB, I guess. Aster, fine. Pepe, fine. ICP, 1.6. Ondo, 1.5. Ethereum Classic, 1.5. Ethereum Classic, brother. ETC, 1.5 billion. ETC, 1.5 billion. Aave, fine. Morpho, fine. Athena, fine. Algorand, billion. Polygon Matic, billion. Who even works for Matic still? Is this still being run? Is this company still being run? Shout out to Polymarket. It's probably responsible for 100%. What's even the coin? I'm confused. Why won't it? Like, I don't even know how to. Why can't I find a pair? There you go. I mean, it's not called Matic anymore. What's it called? Polygon? Nice. I mean, yeah, there you go. Better. Who knew? Render. WorldCoin. Gate token. Filecoin. Billion. Aptos. Billion. Arbitrum. Fine. Dash. Fine. Penguin. Fine. VeChain. That still exists. Crazy. And so, look, you get the point. I won't go any further. But all I'm saying is that a reason to be optimistic about crypto, if there was one, because I'm still a little bit down on the whole thing. A reason to be optimistic about crypto is the fact that there's hardly anything to buy. There's hardly anything to buy. The top 100 is useless. It's so useless. But the things that are worthy of buying, and there are very few of them, I think are really good. I think really good. Like, I think some of these things could go really high. Like, I think Hyperliquid could go really high. I think Zcash could go really high. I think Monero could go really high. I think some of these tokens could go really high. And at the very least, even just a reshuffling of the top 100, moving liquidity across garbage into less garbage, you could get some crazy moves. And so, look, we're not fully back yet. I don't know what the price is in which we are fully back. I think everything should be a lot higher than it is if we were fully back, given what stocks have done. Right? I mean, respectfully, again, AMD put up, I don't know, $100 billion, $150 billion in market cap today. Today alone, Google added $500 billion last Friday. Stock market added $1 trillion today. Trillion today. That would send Sol like 10x. $1 trillion into Sol would make this thing would be $1,000 a token. Think about that. Just the stock market gains today makes Sol $1,000. And now I think the thesis of crypto is exciting because it hasn't pumped is not a good one, right? It feels sort of akin to, you remember when we were doing the metals cope and silver and gold were up so much, and our cope was that all of these people that have made millions on gold are just going to buy Bitcoin for no reason. And we're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then it just never happened. That was the cope for like a month. I was saying it, Mandelbrot cope. We were like, it everyone that just got rich on metals are going to buy crypto for absolutely no reason. And then it didn't happen. And we're like, yeah, that probably was stupid. It feels a little bit similar with crypto, is that everyone's like, crypto's going to pump because crypto hasn't pumped. I don't love that. And so I'm really focused on the couple things that are moving aggressively. The Zcashes, even TON is worth paying real attention to. And everything else on my watch list, you guys can have. I'm good off of it. Everything else on this list, I'm just completely good to not touch. Like VVV, great, but like everything else, I'm good to like Mega, Chip, Dogecoin, Aerodrome, Lighter. Like, I mean, come on. I'm not buying Lighter. I mean, what? It's not. Nothing's happening. Aave, come on, Litecoin, Barachain, like Sui, Mantle, like Say, no. Uniswap, no. Jupiter, no. Pancake, no. Arbitrum, no. Layer 0, no, bro. Pump Fund, no. Grass, no. XPL, no. Athena, no. So that's where I'm at. I stand somewhere in the middle. If you think I'm like bear cucking this, maybe I am. But I think it is time to remain focused. It's time to remain focused on the things that are doing really well. I think the things that are doing well can do really well. And the rest, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Is it John Bollinger's name? Yeah. No one, too deep to know what XRP actually does. No one knows what it does, brother. Yesterday, our trend model for Bitcoin turned positive. We took a position in our Tactica program. What is that? John Bollinger Tactica program. Investment approach utilized by John Bollinger. Typically focused in trend modeling and market timing, such as identifying trials of trends for assets like Bitcoin. Tactica program returns. Is it good? Make money? It's not publicly disclosed. So no. Right? Like, if you're making money, you're disclosing it, right? Interesting to see. Dan Held to the moon. He never sold courses and created a pretty base indicator. Yeah, he is. This guy is pretty sick. He's like a legend, isn't he? Bollinger Bands are lit. When you learn TA, it's like one of the first things you like throw on your fucking charts, isn't it? It's Bollinger Bands. And he boomer. Iran issued a message to commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz saying Iran's ports fully prepared to provide general maritime services and support the vessels. What does that mean for Brent oil flat? Do you fuck with Benjamin Cowan? I don't like not fuck with Benjamin Cowan. I just like don't love the TA astrologist that much. Respectfully. I'm just like not a huge fan of TA stuff. I use it a little bit. But I never it just like feels noisy to me a lot of times, the TA. It's like, oh, you know, bearish channel here, and I'm like, I like naked charts with like some lines. I'm not really like too hype about your indicators and shit. It's just like always feels lagging to me. You know what I mean? I feel like everyone, when you learn to trade, you like have this you try to find the perfect system strategy. Like, okay, if the setup looks this exact same every time, I'll enter on the like, you know, I learned how to trade with Ichimoku clouds. You know what those are? That's how I learned how to trade. Ichimoku clouds and like EMAs. And I thought I had like the God set up, and then you realize no two trades are the same. And then it's just like, what are we doing here? So, all right. That was crypto. Sorry if I'm a little bit scattered. I didn't sleep. I have a lot of money on the line. It's swinging. It's a wild time. And it's a fun time to be alive and to be trading. I have Robert Leshner, the GOAT, coming on stream right now. Robert Leshner is the founder of Compound, but also the founder of Superstate, and they're doing tokenized stocks, which I know maybe some of you guys are sick of hearing about, but he's about as OG as they come. To prepare for the interview, just to get some lore, I watched his Up Only episode from 5 years ago. Leshner's the GOAT. And so we're going to get some lore. I figured, fuck it. He wanted to come on. I'm like, come on Wednesday. Let's talk about crypto. Let's talk about crypto for today. Fuck it. Let's do it. It's a lot to talk about. So he's going to be on probably 30 minutes. He's not in the waiting room yet. I'll let you know when he's here. I'm going to get up real quick. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Then when I get back, Leshner will be on at any moment. So he's a legend. If you know Bo, you know Leshner's that guy. He also does the podcast with Tarun and Hasib with them. It's really good. One of the only crypto podcasts worth listening to. Luke, are you ready? I'm going to let him in. Luke, you ready? Oh, shit. My bad. Luke, you ready? Whoever's in there. Okay, D-Nab, I got you. You guys want to see a legendary bull post? Wait. Shout out my boy Darren. Shout out my boy Darren. This is my guy. I just texted him. He told me he's watching the stream right now, which is funny. Do you know who this is? This is one of my OG co-hosts from Twitter Spaces. He was my co-host for a while. And he's like the biggest Zach bull. He's really good. You should follow him. Roadmap. Flip XMR. $1,000. Flip ETH. Flip Hype. Flip Soul. Zach BTC. Flip ETH. BTC ATH. Flip Bitcoin. Flip Gold. He was my co-host for like a long time. He's a really good guy. He's Unk. He's super Unk. He's like one of my favorite boomers. I love him. We did spaces every day during like 24 maybe for a long time. I think I'm gonna invite him on the stream is what I think I'm gonna do. I think we're gonna probably do solo tomorrow, and then we're gonna do Air Mass on Friday. I'm so hyped for Air Mass. He's long memory and optics all year. He crushed the whole year. Okay, Leshner, I'm coming. I am fucking coming. All right, let's get it. Robert Leshner. Wait, let me Solo XBT. I try to get Solo XBT a bunch of times. He'll never do it. Let me just tweet real quick. All right, let's go. Robert Leshner, I'm excited. Big fan. Let's fucking get it. Yo.
Yo,
Mr. Robert Leshner, welcome to the stream, man. How are you?
Mr. Thread Guy. I am doing well.
Dude, I'm excited to have you. You know what's funny is I listened to you with Hasib on the chopping block, but I don't know that much about your lore. And so I just hear your like modern takes. And so I was doing some prep and I listened to Up Only episode. which was like a high stakes one because you were like 15 hours out of this exploit in one of the compound contracts. And yeah, dude, it was a wild list. I thought you handled it really well for what it's worth. That was like 5 years ago. But
Yeah, that was like ancient history when it comes to DeFi. DeFi has had like 10 lives since then.
yeah, 10 live. I mean, and then what? April is like the worst month for exploits ever. It's like
Ever.
some things don't change, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like DeFi is constantly going through this ebb and flow of being resilient, battle tested, and more trustworthy than CeFi, right? To it being, fragile and unpredictable and less trusted than CeFi. And, it's this constant ebb and flow that's been happening pretty much all the way back to like 2018, 2017, really. And it never ends, like in 12 months, we'll be like, no, DeFi is like so much safer than anything else. Like that's what you have to use.
The thing that was so crazy about it to me was that you were just, I'm not technical at all, but you were discussing the bug and that there was this exploit because there was like a greater than sign was missing and or equals to. And it's like that specific. It has, thousands, like hundreds, millions of dollars are getting airdropped to somebody because there's like one character in a contract that was overlooked.
Yeah, and just to break it down for the people listening that like don't know what we're talking about real quick, it was like 2020, 2021, maybe 2020.
20, yeah.
Maybe 21. But basically there was an upgrade of the compound protocol that, somebody in the community had written. Like one of the early things about compound as a protocol was that like the actual development of it was sort of like crowdsourced, right? Where it was like, hey, anyone can like add on to this thing, which is very different than how like most teams are like building DeFi protocols today. I think a lot of people have learned from this, but it was distributed development, which is like hard to like QA, right? Even with auditors involved. And there was an upgrade. Everyone reviewed it. It looked good. It passed. It was implemented, and there was like this like incredibly hard to find bug that started like basically like miscalculating how many like reward tokens people were going to receive. And so like most people like got 0 and like some people randomly just got like buckets of tokens. And it was patched, as quick as it could be, but like for like days it was like spitting out all of these tokens and things were going crazy. And this was like the human era of like DeFi security, right? Like back in the day, we didn't have AI. Like you literally had many different teams of people like analyzing smart contracts and reading through them and like hypothesizing the risks and hypothesizing the attack vectors. And like it was very different than now, where I think we're entering like a very automated era of like attack and defense.
Thank you for the explanation. And I didn't give you a chance to do this. Can you give us like a quick lore intro into who you are? And then we could talk about some of the fun stuff you're doing now.
Yeah. So people in crypto generally know me for like one of 4 things. Okay. The first is in 2017, I began work on the compound protocol. This is before DeFi was a phrase. I was actually in the group chat when we came up with the word DeFi.
No.
Like, yes, swear to God.
Who came up with the word DeFi?
It was actually Brendan, one of the founders of Dharma Protocol, which was like a 2018 era early DeFi protocol. Fact.
And he just ripped DeFi and everybody was like, yes.
He was like, we need to come up with a name for what like all of these like what we now call DeFi founders are building. He was like open to suggestions. People were like tossing ideas out there. There was some bad names. There was like OpenFi. It was like, there was like some like weird ones. And like a couple people latched onto DeFi and they were like, yeah, DeFi, like that's the name. Like, and like ever since, this was like 2018.
That's all. That's incredible.
Yeah. So people know me as like one of the first people to like explore what we now call DeFi. I built Compound. Second, some people know me from Robot Ventures. It's an early stage venture capital fund that's been active in this space since 2018. We do lots of like pre-seed investments. Oftentimes it's like a founder's very first check because, we just like founders. We're not, oh, you got to show like tons of traction. We bet on people. Third, people might know me from The Chopping Block. It's a podcast that I host in the space. And fourth, I'm the founder of Superstate in 2023. I left Compound to start Superstate. What we do is we tokenize assets. We bring them on chain. And the sort of catalyst of that was, as a DeFi founder, I looked around DeFi and I was like, hey, the ceiling on how big this stuff can get is actually limited because the only assets that we're putting into DeFi are like the same assets we've always been putting into them. It's like other protocols, governance tokens. It's, it's like crypto native things that's like an enclosed ecosystem. And my theory was like to really build this up and to like grow as a space, we needed like trillions of dollars of assets on chain.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could like never really
Yeah,
take
yeah.
off. And so Left Compound founded Superstate, and for the last 3 years, I've been, trying to tokenize assets, bring them on chain to make them usable in DeFi.
I want to talk about Superstate and let you talk about it a little bit. I think you did an interview with New York Stock Exchange, maybe it was a good one. But I want to ask, like, crypto's been pretty boring for the last 6 months and some change. Exciting couple days here, which we talk about. But I've been trading commodities and AI stocks on Hyperliquid, and I'm curious, like, do you feel like what Unit Trade XYZ Hyperliquid is doing has like vamped what you're trying to do at Superstate?
Yes and no, right? So it's proving out a market, which is like people want to trade anything at like 3 in the morning, right? Like that is like clearly the future. That's clearly what everybody wants. That's clearly where it's going, right? I think people have wanted that for like 50 years. It just has never really been possible, right? People want to speculate and hedge on everything at all times, right? Like that is a very pure demand that people have, right? There's going to be a lot of flavors of that. Like the first versions of this are, with basically unregulated derivatives that are like not KYC based, that like anyone can access. There's like really good qualities of that. I think there's a market for that. I think there will always be a market for that. People also want, what I will call like regulated, compliant versions of that, right? Almost every single product starts off with like the Napster era, where it's like, hey, like go totally wild, right? Like, and like that proves everything out, right? It proves the user experience, it proves the demand, it proves like roughly how it's supposed to work. Like almost everything starts off with like a Wild West to it. And like eventually, everything winds up with like what I'll call like the buttoned up versions of it, where after we prove out why it's so awesome, we get the things that like grandma uses, right?
Yes.
Like from like a risk perspective, from a UX perspective, from, a credibility perspective, like we almost always get this sort of like, mature version of something in the end that like actually like claims the whole market. And I think like trading, we'll call it RWAs or like real world assets or securities or whatever you want to call it, like you will be trading all of that stuff at 2 in the morning, 7 days a week, in your pajamas, right? Just like you already were proving out that you could do that today as a society. I just think that the version of that most people are going to use in 10 years is not going to be the, self-custody, like clicking from your wallet, like in a censorship resistant, no KYC thing. It's probably going to be the thing that's offered to you, realistically by like, a Coinbase or like a JP Morgan or a whatever. Like both will exist, right? Like neither's going away, but I think we're going to trend more and more, just like almost every innovation in history. Like we're going to trend from the YOLO era of it to the hyper scaled era of it that like 99% of the world feels comfortable using. The early adopters are like, yeah, I will jump through crazy hoops. Like I will like figure out how to use this brand new system. 99% of the world doesn't think like that. And so, I remember like in the early days of DeFi, like there was no institutions. There was no like, like it was like the early adopters of it were the craziest people on earth. Like the people that were like, I trust the smart contract.
It's nuts.
Done, right? Like the people that were willing to like use a smart contract with their money for the first time, that was a different breed. And now everyone's like sort of comfortable with it and like it gets packaged into way more usable form factors.
I have a bunch, but I want to ask you this first because I just thought of it. Like, when you look at where we are in 2026 from where you were in 2018, 2017, 16, group chat coined the word DeFi, like, how satisfied are you with how DeFi has evolved? Is it beaten expectations, underperformed?
Yeah, the answer is yes. So
That's sick. That's always
here's my
sick.
take. Yeah, like here's my take from about 8 years of DeFi, right? And this goes to my earlier point, which is like people's opinions of it ebb and flow, right? In 2020, sorry, I'll start up from the beginning. In like 2018, no one trusted it. Okay, like when we launched this, when like certain protocols were first launching, nobody wanted to like interact with the smart contracts. It was considered a little bit crazy, right? Like you had some like really early adopters of Compound V1 and Uniswap V1 and like Curve and like all of these things, but like these were the crazy people. And everybody trusted a centralized thing more. They all trusted Coinbase more, right? By the time 2020 came around, people were like, DeFi hasn't had any issues, really. It has like started to scale. And by this point, it was sort of like max experimentation. Like I would say DeFi summer, like 2020 and like 2021 was in some ways like a local maxima and like a global very good mark for DeFi, in that like nothing had really gone wrong, like for the most part. Like there were some bugs, and some bad things that happened, right? But for the most part, people saw how like resilient it was, and people were trying new things all the time. It was like nonstop people like launching protocols that no one had ever seen before, where it was like massive experimentation and like really a lot of confidence that it can work. And so, everyone's optimism for DeFi was just like through the roof, like through the roof. Then everything CeFi collapsed. I mean, like Terra blew up, and then it took down Three Arrows Capital, and then it took down Celsius, and it took down BlockFi, and it took down Genesis, and it took down FTX, and it took down like all these other things, right? And people were like, CeFi is a scam. Like you can't trust anyone who like holds your money for you. The only thing you can trust is a smart contract. And that was a really interesting era. It's like bear market 2022, 2023, where nobody wanted to trust a centralized thing. And like, I think DeFi in its like creativity was almost at an all-time low. People weren't like trying new things, but everyone knew that smart contracts could work at scale for creating a financial product in a financial market. And, for better or for worse, like the post-Trump election era, it's like the comeback of CeFi. I mean, like CeFi is on a revenge tour.
100%, yeah.
Right? Like CeFi has been coming for the market like unbelievably aggressively for, about 16 months now. And I think in some ways, like, especially with the vulnerabilities that have been happening, I think like DeFi, the ratio of like optimism for DeFi relative to CeFi is almost at an all-time low. Like,
agreed.
Since I've been around,
For
like,
sure.
The momentum that the CeFi guys have is really high, and like the sort of angst around DeFi is really high too.
Really high.
Really high. And like, I think DeFi will come back, like, because at the end of the day, we're going to enter an era where like a new protocol written with the tailwind of AI that's like as secure as it can get against any possible threat. Like we're going to have like ultimately scalable, ultimately resilient protocols, which is what people want in the first place. I just think DeFi is at a slight disadvantage right now because all of these contracts were written in like 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And now you have like Mythos that's like, oh, I found a thing that
Well,
like,
you don't even know what it is really, right?
Yeah.
It's like it could, yeah.
Yeah. Like the ability to find vulnerabilities now is like higher than it's ever been. And like the developers haven't caught up yet, but they will catch up.
They will catch
like
up,
eventually we're going to have like this wave of like, I don't want to call it like 3.0, because like it's weird to like create versions of DeFi, but like we will have a wave of DeFi probably in like a couple years where you're like, yeah, you can build a global system that's always on, that always works, that's like super safe, that you can't steal from, you can't tamper. Like it's a really good backbone to do stuff. But, I think like it's going to take a while.
The 23 era was nuts because, I mean, you also didn't like SVB happened as well. 22,
oh yeah,
23.
banks were going down.
Banks, it wasn't just crypto exchanges. It was like banks were getting run. Everything was going down. And I just like remember people were like, if you keep money on, if you keep $1,000 on Coinbase, you're a retard. Like it was like no one knew anything about anything. Like it was I forgot about SVB happening. That was like, you couldn't trust anything.
Yeah, like USD coin hit 85 cents or something like that on the
I
dollar.
sold,
You
by
know,
the
it's
way,
like
I sold USDC when it hit like 90 cents. I didn't know, because I didn't know
You
what it
whipped.
was. I didn't know what I held. And I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, that's crazy.
You know, I want to ask you this, like going back to some of the super state hyperliquid stuff is like, okay, you know, I think a lot of the speculators are sick of hearing every VC come on the mic and be like, you know, we're bullish on crypto, but like just tokenized stocks and stablecoins. But on the other hand, we, you know, the product that Hyperliquid and TradeXYZ has offered is like incredible. And to be able to trade like commodities and to be able to trade, you know, these stocks and you know, Korean stocks, hopefully it's wild the amount of liquidity you could tap into. My question for you, and you could get a little bit technical on this, is like, if I'm long HIMS on a perps position on Hyperliquid, what am I actually trading and what do they as an exchange actually hold versus if I were to buy like HIMS stock from Superstate, assuming, you know, hypothetically, if you guys had tokenized it?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, you know, you're really asking the difference between like what happens between like essentially like on-chain derivatives versus like stocks in the traditional system, right?
Yes.
Because like you can make a derivative on anything, right? And like crypto has done an amazing job in creating perps and creating derivatives in honestly like a better form factor than all of TradFi had ever invented prior to this. Like perps honestly are better than like monthly and quarterly futures that like expire and go away
By
and,
like a lot. Yeah.
by like a lot. Like
Yeah.
perps are just a genuine innovation that came from crypto. Like, you know, kudos to like BitMEX for like pioneering that many years ago.
Yeah.
But perps are just derivatives, right? And in a derivative transaction, you know, it's essentially zero sum. Okay. So for every dollar that threadguy makes, I or someone else is losing $1, right? And you're basically either directly interacting with someone else on the other side of a trade or with multiple people through some like, you know, pooling mechanism. But you're basically creating a market where for everyone that's long, someone else is short.
Yes.
And when there's more people that want to go long than want to go short, like you have to like figure out a way to balance this and like perps use like an interest rate to like attract the other side of the market, right? But it's basically like a wager between two sides, right? Someone's going to make money and someone's going to lose money, right? With the stock, it's naturally net long versus with perps, it's like they net out and it sums to zero.
Got it.
And like the expected value of everybody collectively is zero. One side's going to win, one side's going to lose.
Yes.
With a stock, the stock itself, there's more shares of it than zero, right? And the underlying stock of it, it's kind of like a naturally net long position. Like you own a share of a company, right? It might be a bad company and the people that own the shares of it, it goes down, but you're essentially, you know, not betting against a counterparty. You're literally betting against nobody besides, you know, like your opportunity cost, right? It's like a natural long product versus a product with like EV0.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's no funding cost when you own a stock. Like you like can hold it for 50 years.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, I own the stock. Like that's it. Versus with like perps or derivatives, it's like, you know, you can't really do that. And so the easiest way to think about it is, you know, if there's a stock token, there's a lot of different versions of stock tokens. You know, we're still in like an era of like great experimentation. The approach that Superstate takes is like when it's a token, you're on like the company's books and records. Like you can like call up the CFO and be like, hey, am I a shareholder? And they'll like, say, like, yes, like, yo, threadguy, you are on the company's records. You're a shareholder. Like, have you gotten our like annual statements?
Yeah.
There's other tokens where you can't really do that. And there's like a couple layers of like SPVs, so to speak, and middlemen between you and the company. But like you indirectly own the company shares through like other tokenized approaches. But when you hold like a stock token in general, you're long the company stock. And so either you like bought it directly or someone else bought it on your behalf and is custodying it and then minted a token against it. But in general, stock tokens are like, you're just like long the company and there is no other side to it. Like no one's going to lose if your thing goes up.
Got it. Thank you. And so to follow up on that, it's like, it feels like everyone everywhere is talking about on-chain capital market is going to eat everything, tokenize everything. BlackRock, every major financial institution talking about this, but it's still, I mean, it's niche. It's very niche. It's just like a bunch of VCs and maybe like bleeding edge traders that are at all exposed to this. Like, why and what does the trajectory from here look like? And maybe like, how does it impact like us?
Yeah. I mean, it is niche, right? I think every new technology wave starts off niche, right? Like, DeFi started off niche. Like, I mean, listen, like, back in the day, I would like try to explain like, yeah, we're going to use smart contracts on a blockchain to like build a financial marketplace. And people like looked at me like I was an insane person.
Yeah.
Right. And the people that were like reading white papers and like commenting on like Reddit threads for this stuff, it was like really niche, right? It was a couple VCs and a couple crazy people, right? And now everyone knows it, right? The internet, when it came out, I had a crazy uncle who was like, oh, like, have you heard about this like World Wide Web thing? And I was like, I was a kid, but I was like, what are you talking about? Like it was niche until it became like huge, right? Like everything starts off niche. Like the people that are excited about this niche right now, because like it is like a bunch of VCs and like, I mean, if you're a nerd for financial infrastructure, like, yeah, that's niche, right?
Yeah.
But like the reason why people get excited about it is because it sort of illuminates what the world's going to be. In the same way that like the people that were using DeFi were like, yeah, like you're gonna be able to like do stuff on a blockchain like whenever you feel like it. Like they sort of saw this future. The future that people see with this tokenization thing is solving a bunch of problems that people kind of right now have, which is, if you've ever tried to like transfer an asset, like that's not a crypto token to somebody else, it's like running into a brick wall. It is like, so try transferring like stock to somebody. Like that's not a token, right? Like you can't do it. Like you think you own these assets and like you sort of do, but like you can't like do anything with it, right? And so like, your assets don't feel like they're your own, right? You feel like you have the economic right to them, but if you want to like move from one broker to the other, it's like kind of shitty, right? So that's one of the things that people see. They also see this thing where they're like, well, crypto works 24/7. Like, why can't everything work 24/7? Like, why don't my stocks work? And like, yeah, TradFi is like slowly like chipping away at this and making everything work a little bit more 24/7, not weekends, but like everything is getting towards more always on, but like it's still a far stretch away from the way that like Hyperliquid works, or like anything on
100%.
chain. People are like, this is the future. Like, how do we apply this to all of the assets? And lastly, there's this like element of innovation that just like does not exist in TradFi. That's like never really existed. To do anything, it's like negotiating with all of these different partners and like signing these like, extremely long contracts and like, only being able to do these like small tweaks to like make something like a little bit different. Versus in crypto, it's like major tweaks, like go wild, like, add whatever programmability you want, like invent something totally new. Like it's incredible. And so, people see tokenization as like solving all of these things where you're like, yeah, let's just like turn stocks and bonds into tokens. And then it's like, it's always on. You can move them to whoever you want, whenever you want. They're really yours. And if you want to build new stuff with them, like the assets become building blocks that anyone can go out and build a killer app for. Like you haven't really been able to build any killer apps with stocks in like 150 years. Because like you're not allowed to even like really program them. Like the amount of like new things you can do with them. The biggest innovation in 50 years was Robinhood, which was like setting fees to zero, right? Like no one has ever really been able to like experiment with like stocks and assets as the sort of building block. And so tokenization is going to let anybody listening to this podcast say like, you know what, I'm going to be like an asset hacker and build a totally new way of interacting with these things.
That is, man, it's just like it's a refreshing take. Tell me on the other contrary, what incentive, like why would Nvidia want their shares tokenized, or these like major public companies?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a company doesn't really care about like the plumbing of these markets, right? Like the only thing the company cares about is like, can more people buy my stock? Like that's a good thing. Like every company wants more bid for their stock.
Yeah.
Right. Every company wants more, stock price, because like at the end of the day, the higher the stock price, the lower their cost of capital, it just means they can raise more money, or like they can borrow more, and they can do all these amazing things. They can go out and buy more companies. Like every company is publicly traded wants their stock price higher, and the more people that can buy it, the more tailwind there is to it. So like they don't care about how it all works. They don't, like, honestly, you call a CFO or a CEO, like they have no idea how the stock market works.
No clue, yeah.
Besides, like, we're publicly traded, that is good. Right?
So who are
They
you
know how,
PvPing
like,
here? Is it the brokerages?
yeah, it's interesting because all of this stuff is going to like upgrade in parallel, right? So like brokerages are going to upgrade, like the exchanges are going to upgrade, the custodians are going to upgrade, like everything is going to move slowly, towards full tokenization.
Yeah.
But it's just like everyone's sort of like competing to like get us there.
Got it. So it isn't even like you winning doesn't mean like Schwab loses. They just get better, actually.
Yeah, I mean, like theoretically with tokenized stocks, like Schwab could be like, withdraw stock to your wallet, or withdraw stock to Coinbase, or like, all these other features, or, withdraw stock to your, AI agent, or like deposit stock from your AI agent. Like by tokenizing it, you like turn on like a huge aperture of creative new product ideas that like just don't exist.
That was
So Schwab might be like incredibly excited.
that was a really good pitch for it, dude. Let me ask
Thank
you
you.
this. Outside of tokenized stocks and stable coins, is there anything in crypto you're excited about?
Man, I have tunnel vision. So this is like part of the problem with me is
Okay.
like, I like latch onto something. It's all I think about for like 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll get like super excited about
About the
something
next
else,
thing?
right? But like I have like years left on tokenization because like we're still like pretty early in the journey.
It, that's fair, though. I mean, it's how you have to be to win really hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like full tunnel vision. And so do you find yourself like, I mean, you're working on something really cool. Do you find yourself, 10/10 happens? Are you depressed about crypto and upset about the state of the industry? Like, do you find yourself in these doomer spirals?
10/10 was like a non-event for me personally. Like I like didn't have any market like positions on like, like I'm not like on a daily basis, I'm not really trading.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a couple group chats where like people were like 100% demoralized on 10/10, and
Yeah.
like it felt really bad because like
Yeah.
all my friends were like, what happened?
just
Like
happened?
this
Yeah.
sucks, right?
Yeah.
But like I personally like didn't really notice 10/10. The after effects of it were like pretty negative. Like the attitude like got like a little bit more sour like every week for like 3 months.
Yeah. It got really
Right.
angry.
Yeah, it got really angry. But like I almost like didn't even notice 10/10 happen. The thing that I did notice honestly was like the Kelp DAO one. Like the Kelp DAO one, and like there've been so many hacks in April. Okay, like April was such a like hacky month. But like Kelp DAO, I was like, this is going to leave like a bruise on like the face of DeFi for like a while. I was like,
Wow.
institutions are going to be scared. Regulators are going to be scared. I was like, this is a little bit demoralizing because like so much of the vision that I have at Superstate is like bringing stuff on chain so that it can DeFi. It's not like tokenize something so that like I can shave 12 cents off of some TradFi business, right? Which like, yeah, that's a benefit of tokenization, but my whole like vision for this is like so that you can bring it on chain into a DeFi protocol and it can do DeFi stuff.
DeFi shit.
And honestly, like within 12 hours, I was hearing from like institutions who were like, this DeFi thing, like, are you sure about this? Like,
Really? You're getting
what?
phone calls?
Yeah.
Whoa.
We had like a lot of questions like, what does this mean? Like, what's this mean for DeFi? And I was like, okay, this is an event that like I am like saddened about, like at a very.
So what do you
deep-
tell them when they call you?
Yeah, I mean, what you can tell them is that like fundamentally, this doesn't like lessen the value proposition of DeFi, right? I think the reason why everyone's so demoralized is that like this was, one of these like it makes it to like the front page of Bloomberg events where it's like millions of tokens created out of thin air and like biggest DeFi protocols in existence get exploited because of it due to a bug in one system that became a bug in another system that became a bug in a different system. Like it didn't look like it was like a single weakness. It looked like 15 weaknesses, like all at once. You had all these vaults blowing up. It was like
It's insane.
it like the reason why it was so painful is it didn't feel like a single failure. It felt like 15 failures. And like 15 failures all at the same time feels like an indictment of the whole approach and interconnectedness. And like the interconnectedness is the value proposition. It's also like the noose in some ways, but like it's the biggest advantage that
I see
we
what
have.
you're saying. Yeah.
And so the attitude from like external, like when I was talking to like public companies, we're talking to like, investment bankers, their view is like, oh, this interconnectedness doesn't work. Like it's bad. Like, yeah, there's interconnectedness in like TradFi, but like everything is siloed in like its own little way, right? And like the interconnectedness is like all the stocks drop at the same time, not like, oh, a failure in one silo destroys every other silo. Like, yeah, there's like collateral damage when like, the great financial crisis happens and
Yes.
it dominoes
Yes.
a bit. But like, it just like blew a lot of credibility. I think like in a way that it shouldn't for anyone in the know, right? But
Yeah.
like for anyone who's like looking at this from the TradFi side, they were like, oh, DeFi. Like, I'll take a look at it in like another couple of years.
Yeah, we'll come back
and
to
it like
this.
reset the clock of like serious like institutional credibility that I think we were building towards. And that credibility will come back. Like, trust me, like, promise you.
Yeah.
Like, it is a fact. Like, in like 18 months, everyone's going to forget this and everyone's going to be like, DeFi is rock solid. Like, how do we build on top of this?
Were you in the war room when this kelp DAO event
No,
happened?
I haven't been in a war room in a while. Like I was probably in like 40 war rooms between 2018 and 2021,
Really?
22. I mean, I was in a lot of war rooms.
Wait,
back
what
in
was
the
the
day.
craziest one before I come back to Ave?
Ooh, okay. I mean, there was a few like crazy.
Give me like
war
one
rooms.
crazy one.
Yams. Have you heard about Yams?
No, I don't even know what that is.
All right. Yams was like back in like DeFi summer, we called them food farms. There
Okay,
was a lot
okay,
of
okay.
tokens that were like associated with foods, like
Yeah, yeah,
sushi kind of like kicked it off. If you've heard of sushi.
Okay, yeah.
Yams was like an algorithmic stablecoin, kind of like Terra Luna
Okay.
/ UST. Okay. But it was like an algorithmic stablecoin. And they accidentally bricked their governance contract. So governance proposals couldn't take effect.
Okay.
And this was like a new protocol that everyone in DeFi was like farming. Like,
What do you think it was
everybody had,
worth?
like, what's that?
How? What do you think it was worth?
Oh, at the peak, I mean, probably like $400 or $500 million.
Okay.
But like everybody was farming this token,
Okay.
and they bricked the governance contracts, and it went to zero. And it was really a sad war room.
Whoa.
Because like everyone tried to save it, but like no one could get there in time. And
So
like,
what's going on in this war room? Like, how many people are in there? And like, are you on the phone? It's just messages. Like,
I mean, that one, I believe it was like a Discord call with
Oh,
like,
man.
20 people, and everyone was like, it was a bad one. Cause like most things don't like truly go to zero when there's like a bug.
yes,
Right?
yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, oops, like we like broke something, like it's horrible. Like,
Wick it down and bring it back in a couple weeks.
but like an algorithmic stable coin,
It's
like
going to
literally
zero.
goes from like confidence to like zero. So that one sucked.
Were you in
that
a
was,
Were you in a Terra Luna war room?
there was a lot of like different little ones on the side of it. Like I was not in like the like, Do Kwon like war rooms.
The
at
main
all.
one.
Like I was in like ones that were like, hey, how's this gonna affect DeFi? Right? Like I was in like, what's the collateral damage of this gonna be kind of war rooms.
Got it.
Like,
Is
this
you
gonna blow up?
did you know it
compound
was gonna blow
Aave?
up?
I didn't know it was gonna blow up. I mean, I thought it was a bubble, right? Like I literally knew unintelligent people off of Wall Street that were like quitting their jobs to like launch like funds specifically that just bought UST that were like, I found a foolproof way to make 19%, kind of thing. That like you had like investment bankers like quitting their jobs and starting like Terra funds. Like that's how I knew. I'm like, this is like literally not sustainable. They're like pulling the yield out of thin air. Like this cannot like last forever.
That That's insane. What an era. I was like so young, like infant in that era, so I wasn't like fully aware what was going on.
There were signs. They will say there were signs. There were signs. Like
There were signs.
things cannot like every bubble pops. Like, you know, some people are good at spotting bubbles. Like certain bubbles are obvious when you're like, this is too crazy. Like this is not like, how can this last? Like, how can you like make a living packaging UST and selling it as a hedge fund, like specifically, you know, like when it gets that big, you're like, okay, this has to break at some point. And like, I didn't know when it was going to break. Like, I wasn't like, oh, well, if you look at like the flows and the things, I was like, next Tuesday. Like, but it was like, this is getting too crazy.
Okay, before I get back to Aave, what do you think of Stretch?
I mean, it is a distant cousin of Luna UST. I think it's a lot safer for a lot of reasons. Like a lot safer, but it rhymes. Like the actual model of it, it rhymes with it.
How?
But I think it has to get like literally like 8 times bigger before it becomes a problem.
See, this is the scariest part about it. Is everyone's like, it'll be a problem, but like 18 months from now, we'll deal with it.
Yeah. Like, I also think like, I think Sailor and the team there is actually smart enough though to prevent it from becoming a problem. Because like, this is the thing. Like, you're like, yeah, if we like draw this line and it goes up forever, like, and Bitcoin doesn't go up in the same way, like it can become a problem. But like, I think they can like sort of self-regulate because they're intelligent people. Like at least they've shown like an ingenuity to get to this point. Like everyone has counted them out and said they would have blown up like so many times. Right. I also think they're smart enough not to let it get out of control. Right. If it were to like become a parabola and they issue like, you know, $200 billion of preferred, it will become an out of control problem.
Damn.
Right. But I think they're smart enough to like know exactly how far to push it.
Yeah. I hope.
Like that's a smart team.
That's a smart. It is. It has to be, right, to have gotten this far.
Correct. That's a smart team. It's easy as an outsider to be like, oh, they're gonna blow up. And it's like, fine. Like so many people have said that.
Yes, fair. Okay, so then bringing it back to current day is what the fuck happened with Aave? And what everyone's calling you, their timelines got pushed back 18 months. Are you doomer about what actually happened? Did the helped out Aave layer 0 situation?
It's funny because like every single hack / problem / exploit on a long enough time frame is a good thing. And the reason why I say it's a good thing is because everybody learns from it.
Yeah.
And like that specific problem, people don't repeat, right? Like, do you know how many people are going to tolerate like one-of-one bridge signing processes ever again?
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to like know to design around that and like not tolerate it, not allow it. And like, yeah, I'm sure like some like new shitty tiny bridge provider will get started and they start off with doing this like one-of-one stuff, you know? But as a society, like we've learned that lesson. And like it's a little bit ingrained in everybody. Like, have you seen an algorithmic stablecoin since
there you
Terra?
go.
No, you haven't. Like everyone learned that lesson.
We
and
just
like
don't
we're all
do it
smart
again.
enough now to not do it again. And so every flaw, I do think people learn from. And it's like one less thing that can go wrong. And over a long enough time frame, I think we like work all of these like issues out of the system. There's new ones, like people come up with like new ways to be an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? Like for sure. But you know, we don't see too much repeating of the same stupidity. And so this is one everyone's going to learn from. You know, I think it's going to harden borrowing protocols like Aave and Compound and any others that exist out there. I think everyone's going to be like, whoa, it turns out that like a collateral asset can go to 0 in like a millisecond, you know? Like we built our models to assume that they
can't
chop
happen.
around and go down and it's a function of the market, not like the asset got hacked, right? So I think like the risk parameters of DeFi will improve where it's like, oh, maybe like the supply caps like grow over time. And if something like that happens again, there's no actual loss, right? Like there's a lot of lessons that are going to be formed. And I think there's going to be a lot of benefits from this. Not immediately, it takes a while, but like the next version of the protocols that comes out is all going to like be built with these lessons.
One more follow-up on that is like to add to the problems in crypto is, there was this Aave DAO LLC, kind of like the Foundation Labs problem where we have this like, I don't know, I think pretty significant overhang in a lot of altcoins. Like what exactly do you hold? Hyperliquid, they buy back 100% of the revenue with the token. So, okay, fine, we'll take that. But Pump Fund, it's like, I don't know, what do I hold? It doesn't apply the same across all assets. How does that resolve? And how big of an issue do you think it is?
So I think it's a problem. I think one of the reasons why this is a problem fundamentally is most of these projects were built in the Gary Gensler era when there was a huge amount of
100%.
ambiguity around how things are supposed to work. How do you structure like the entities to like not create securities and like do all these things, right? And so the way almost everyone went about this was like you had like a foundation and you had like a development company, labs company, and you had like a protocol, and you had all these things with different like expectations to them. You know, humans have had 10,000 years to figure out how to like organize themselves and like build like enterprises. And simplicity has been kind of the virtue that's always held, right? Like you don't need like three competing entities for something, right? Like there should be like one, right? And so I think anytime where there's multiple entities, it's a problem. Like it's a natural question to be like, so like, why is there a labs company that's like making money, and why is there a protocol and like it's making money and like a token, and like who gets what and who decides? That's like a conflict of interest. And like anytime something is successful, these conflicts of interest will come to the fore. It also happens when like things are smaller and less successful, but nothing big and successful can have this like innate question about how it even works and like who benefits and how and why and who makes decisions and how and why. And so, you know, I think over time we're going to see less of this. I think like most things, you know, probably should start off with a company because that's the easiest way to raise money. Like ICOs have always been a tough way to raise money. Like it's very hard to crowdfund and basically be public before you've built something. Like that sucks, right?
It does suck.
Like I think the way everything should get built is like you raise money from like private markets where everyone's like really like buttoned up and like they expect losses and things not to work out, and you raise money from a small number of extremely sophisticated investors. And then eventually you've built the thing and it's time to go crypto public or you know, have a traded asset. And I think when that happens, right, that's a great time to transition away from like we have a company still and we might make money at the expense of a protocol or vice versa. There's a conflict of interest, or we're building it and we're also going to ask for tokens, or we're going to be involved in some way. Like, I think that's when it's time to transition. And so like in my mind, like, yes, it totally makes sense for things to start off with private companies. It's the best way to raise money. It's the cleanest way to raise money. I don't think that's how things should end up, right? Like Bitcoin doesn't have a private company, right?
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin, yeah, technically had a foundation, but like it doesn't do anything, you know? So starting point companies, ending point, if there's a token, it should just be a token. Like there should be nobody competing with that token, especially nobody who's like super privileged and built the thing in the first place.
I think that's a sick take. Dude, you have a lot of sick takes, man. I appreciate you coming on. Also, you haven't been on the pod in a couple weeks, have you?
No.
What happened?
You know what? This is actually not public knowledge, but I'll leak a little bit of alpha right here.
Okay, thank you.
So Superstate has been recording a podcast. We haven't dropped any of the episodes yet. And so for the last couple of weeks on the chopping block, I've been taking like a sabbatical because I don't have the brain space to be like recording 2 podcasts at once.
Too much.
Yeah. And so I'm taking a sabbatical while we record all the episodes of the Superstate podcast.
Nice, dude. I'm excited. You're a sick listen. I appreciate you coming on. I'm excited to listen to that. Give us like a I don't know, give us like an optimistic wrap for where crypto over the next 6 months, year plus. Well, a lot of this stuff is in transition. Like where what can we look forward to?
Yeah. Here's the things that I look forward to, because they're gonna happen, and when they happen, I think it's gonna be exciting. Okay. One, we're gonna have an improved regulatory position in the US.
Yes.
Because I think it's medium likely that we pass clarity. There's always a lot of risks to it. It's not a done deal. You know, I would put it at 50-50, even though Polymarket probably has a little bit higher. But clarity passing is a big deal. Like, it is a big deal for the space. It is a big deal for everyone to get involved with it. In the same way that, like, literally every, like, TradFi institution was waiting for the Genius Act before they got excited about stablecoins, even though they could have been excited about stablecoins before Genius, right? Genius came out and, like, everybody was like, we're in stables now, right? Like, they need that external validation that it's okay
Yes.
because there's some very conservative people. Clarity passes, and like, yeah, like there's technically nothing stopping any organization from getting involved in crypto. But like clarity passes, and like no one is going to hesitate to touch tokens. No one is going to hesitate to touch like tokenized anything, like ICOs, wallets, like whatever, you name it. Like it's going to be like socially acceptable. And so you're going to see like, yes, like more competition and whatever from like existing industry, but you're going to have this like huge groundswell of activity. And that's a good thing. Like clarity is going to be awesome if it passes. So that's the first one. Second, I mean, the SEC is constantly working towards more guidance in parallel to clarity to unlock things like, you know, tokenized securities trading and like how tokenized assets are supposed to work. These are topics not covered in clarity. And as a, you know, country, we're still waiting for additional guidance. But, you know, it's very clear to me that they're working on additional guidance to create a pathway for builders. So I think we're going to see additional progress out of the SEC, which is something to be excited about.
Nice.
I think, you know, at any given moment, I think the narrative behind Bitcoin is going to like flip from one of like a little bit of apathy to like mania again. And like there's always so many like irons in the fire, and like it takes like one day for this to like switch on again. But, you know, I think at any point, like you could see something that just like switches on the narrative of Bitcoin as a neutral store of value.
Yeah.
I think it could come from the US and like a strategic reserve. I think it could come from a foreign country. I think there's a lot of irons in the fire, but like I'm always prepared, like left field, like on a single day, like it's just like we switch on the Bitcoin.
We're back. Yeah.
Like we're so back thing. And I think there's a pretty high chance that within the next 12 months, like we get that sort of like green light from somewhere. It's always hard to say where, but like Bitcoin is so back, right? It has like survived the worst levels of apathy possible, and we're grinding back. Like it could be a so back moment at any time. And it's like risk on. And that will drag everything with it, right? And lastly, like people are still building sick products, right?
Yeah, they are.
And, you know, over the last year, I've seen a lot of really cool things launch. We're seeing a lot of innovation. And, you know, the narrative of crypto itself changes pretty frequently. Like, you know, out of nowhere, we went through like the NFT era, right? Like we've gone through like the perps era. Like we've gone through the altcoin era. Like what people are spending their time on is always evolving, right? Like, and it always surprises people. No one ever anticipates. They're like, this is what everyone's going to be like talking about, you know? And there's enough experiments going on that like, before you know it, like mainstream everybody's going to be talking about this new thing that's happening.
That was fucking beautiful. Robert Leshner, you're a movie, dude. I am happy you, it's funny, you responded to my DM from like 8 months ago.
You know what? I only check my DMs like every 8 months.
Yeah, there you go. I look forward to our next one, 2027. But dude, you're awesome.
27, yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate the time. I'm rooting for you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Peace.
Thanks.
Bro, I have a DM. I had a DM out to Robert Leshner. I asked for an intro. To him in I'll tell you right now. I DM'd him on August 14th, 2025. And I was like, great to meet you. I run this live stream. I had Kyle Samani on. Like, you should come on the stream. August 14th. Then I bumped him again August 17th. And then he replies April 30th. Hey, happy to come on. I was like, bro. August, November, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 9 months. 9 months. He comes on. That was, I'm not gonna lie, that was sick. There's bro, he's like, I invented the word DeFi. That guy rocks. What a guy. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And I think that guy's awesome. He's pretty, yeah, you know, it's nice to hear optimism, really, on crypto, especially from a guy that has been through the worst, man. Been through the worst, really. So, all right, let me get. I'm not gonna run it out. I'm down to stay on stream. Let me get up real quick though. I'll be right back. Banger. BRB. Does hit the thing directly. You just have to wait. If you're watching YouTube, Twitter, you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. Here's a funny tweet. A got the TG follow. I thought that was funny what you just tweeted. I was pissing and I just liked the tweet. You know what's, this is the funny tweet on the topic of Robert Leshner. Look at this. Let me make sure my computer. Read this. We back. How did the interview go? You just missed a banger. God, if crypto guys actually learn finance, they'd be unstoppable. They'd really take on the world's biggest financial institutions with some success, while giving me 200x leverage on Farcoin. There's a reason why derivatives exist, and it's not just free leverage. Like, there's actual utility in being able to make more of them with different payoffs and to hedge different risks is so useful to people. Like, without puts, I couldn't sleep at night. Pretty sick. It makes me remember, like, you know, talking to Robert Leshner makes me realize that crypto is cool for reasons beyond pump fun. You know? Crypto is cool for reasons beyond pump fun. It's cool for reasons beyond how any individual token is trading at this moment. Like, it's actually, this is fun. It's actually pretty revolutionary. I was gonna read this. Should I read this? Michael Burry. Let's see what's on here that I care about. I was gonna do Michael Burry Trading Journal. This is wild. Here's a poll. Is Citrini think back to 2028 superintelligence crisis by Citrini Research? He published the AI crisis, article, and in it, oh man, is it pinned? Let's see if it's pinned. Wow. Look at this. June 30th, 2028. Oh my God. The unemployment rate pinned to 10.2% this morning. A 0.3 upside surprise. The market sold off 2% on the number, bringing the cumulative drawdown in the S&P to 38% from its October 2026 highs. Traders have grown numb. 6 months ago, a print like this would have triggered a circuit breaker. 2 years. That's all it took to get from contained and sector-specific to an economy that no longer resembles one any of us grew up in. This quarter's macro memo is our attempt to reconstruct the sequence, a post-mortem on the pre-crisis economy. The euphoria was palpable. By October 2026, the S&P flirted with 8,000. The NASDAQ broke above 30K. The initial wave of layoffs due to human obsolescence began in early 2026, and they did exactly what layoffs are supposed to do. Margins expanded, earnings beat, stocks rallied. Record-setting corporate profits were funneled right back into AI compute. It's a crazy article. By 2026, S&P flirted with 8,000. Where are we right now? I could get rid of this. SPX. It's not that far off, gentlemen. It's another 8 to 9% from here. Wow. What the fuck? It's 9% from here. So does that mean we're close to the scary parts? Yeah, actually it does. Sort of mean that. Let's finish this one page. The headline numbers were still great. Nominal GDP repeatedly printed mid to high single-digit annualized growth. Productivity was booming. Real output per hour rose at rates not seen since the 1950s. Driven by AI agents that don't sleep, take sick days, or require health insurance. The owners of compute saw their wealth explode as labor costs vanished. Meanwhile, real wage growth collapsed. Despite the admin's repeated boasts of record productivity, white-collar workers lost jobs to machines and were forced into lower-paying roles. When cracks began appearing in the consumer economy, economic pundits popularized the phrase ghost GDP. Output that shows up in national accounts but never circulates through the real economy. In every way, AI was exceeding expectations and the market was AI. The only problem is the economy was not. Damn, this is the unbelievable read. Maybe we should read it again at some point. That's nuts. Where are we on crypto? TON looks great. Zcash, not as great. Bitcoin, decent. Also, he makes a good point on BTC. At any moment, we could just be so back. I mean, it could be any moment, and we're so back. Have I missed anything on the timeline, I wonder? And some Zcash back, scribble to 500, 500, 500, and then rip it. I'm cool with that. DoorDash earnings. We missed earnings. DNAP, what are the biggest earnings to go through? Uber too, I think. Let's go. Let's go through them all. DoorDash. Earnings. Wow, up 12%. How about it? DoorDash, ARM miss, it looks like down 7%. Did Uber have earnings today? It looks like Snap. Oof. That's so ugly. Snap is just a disaster. IONQ down 7. Uber had pre-market. Had a good day, up 9. Yeah, okay, clearly up 9%. All right, let's read this. Michael Burry. Let's read it. Fuck it. Let's do it because we're never going to get to it. Might as well. Okay. Burry posts. Late in this session today. Is this was from today or yesterday? Yesterday. Yeah, it's from yesterday. Later in session today, U.S. announced Operation Epic Fury is concluded and that offensive operations against Iran have ended. Rather surprising given the recent news of imminent ground operations. One-shotted, brother. It's not happening. One-shotted. The market took it in stride, barely missing a beat, and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ closed at all-time highs. The NDX had an all-time high price to sales ratio of 673. After the close yesterday, Palantir reported results. He has been short Palantir. Good for him. Palantir is not growing as fast as AI commercial adoption. This is the beginning of frontier models getting an edge in. Shares collapsed. Not quite. I continue to hold my short position established yesterday. Oh, he closed it before. Below is a 1-month chart of Palantir stock. It is selling off in the after hours a bit more as I write this. I also continue to hold Palantir puts. I was back on the Hong Kong market last night and I'll buy more tonight. The resolution of the Iran situation should help sentiment, and the recent sell-off provides entry points now. What else? Nothing interesting. Well, double my position in Temple and Webster. It's 3% of his port. Yeah, here he's short socks. I added the socks January 2027, 330 strike puts in the 13s. Let's see that chart. He's short this. It's crazy. It's a scary fucking one to short, Michael Burry. It's a scary one to short, my friend. 330 puts. Damn, he's like deep out of the money on this. Michael Burry be like, this thing is up a lot. I'm going to short it. I'm now considering opening a short on Intel. Puts are too expensive. For now, I'm content shorting more of the stocks. FOMO's clearly in play. These companies are getting dozens of years of earnings added to their valuations within the span of days because the next year or two looks locked and loaded. These are semiconductors. They will cycle hard. Intel is the poster child for the top would be poetic. It's true. The third doubling down today. The PayPal position is now a full position at 6.6% of the portfolio. Why? PayPal reported decent earnings today with 7% revenue growth. PayPal is a flow business, but lower interest rates create a headwind. So he's long PayPal, short semis. I do not know if I've seen so many escalator up, elevator down stock charts in my life. From market all-time highs, there are a lot of these. What is this? FISV? What's FISV? Pfizer. Oof. Commercial sales. Huh. This is nasty. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't exactly like escalator up, elevator. I mean, it was a nice chart, but it wasn't insane. Finally, I added a bit to the Lulu position in the 129s. Portfolio position is 8%. And that was my next article after the software one. I've started writing it, and I'm finally motivated by the stock price to finish it. Until next time. Lululemon 129. How's the Lululemon? Okay. I mean, all right, Mr. Burry. Bought the bottom, I guess. It's barely moved. Pretty nasty. Michael Burry. Michael Burry be like, this thing is good. I'm going to short it. This thing is trading well. I'm short. The classic. What else do we have on here? Oh, I want to watch a minute of this. Paul Tudor Jones. Let's watch a minute. Actually, we'll save it. We'll save it. I'll skip it.
I'm getting ready to give him a little drums along the mohawk. Do a little tom-tomming on the market.
Oh my God.
Here on the end. Offer 3,070.
Oh my God.
3,070. Offer 3,070?
Yeah.
Talk into the phone.
Hey, listen, Benny, don't offer that. Sell 540 market. Sell 540.
540 market. Sell 540 market. 540 market?
Yeah, March, go. Well, anyway, the whole point is I risk 10 cents, right?
Are you risking 10 cents to make $8? I'd like to, you know, that's not a bad trade. Right?
Yeah. Oh, God, and it would work so perfect for the stock market, bond market, if this were to happen. And the stock market would explode. I mean, the Dow 2,500 wouldn't even be the first stopping point today.
I mean, I've heard stories about this guy. He wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and trades like gold in Hong Kong and all sorts of places. I mean, if I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, my wife would say, you know, get back to bed. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
63 and 73.
Oh my God, he's
I'll
awesome.
tell you what I'll do. You own 540. You own 540. Only 540.
540, what are you doing?
I'm selling D-Marks. You own 540.
He really loves it. And it involves sort of the use of all his energy, all his power, all his knowledge and everything. And he puts it together into one incredible life.
If I make the mark that I want to make, I'll stop. I'll retire, hopefully, a champion.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Paul Tudor Jones. Have a fucking day, pal.
Paul Tudor Jones is a futures trader. He speculates on the future value of almost anything. It's been called an art, a science, a gambling game. It's a high-risk game for high rewards in an arena that is increasingly under scrutiny. Recent scandals have brought the Wall Street community into the glare of public and media attention, and the regulatory agencies are questioning the very existence of a certain kind of trading, stock index futures, at which Paul Jones has recently been one of the most successful players in America. It is March 1987, the third month of one of the most dramatic rises in the...
Chat. What happens in 87? Somebody tell the class what happens in 1987. Particularly October 19th.
History of the stock market, and Paul Jones is taking a holiday. Well, sort of a holiday.
When I originally decided to come here, it was going to be vacation, get away from everything. And then, as it turned out, a number of the clients that I have are here in Europe, and most of them here in Gstaad, as it turns out. So I've done an enormous amount of business. I've been in Paris, I've been in Geneva. So I kind of combine business with pleasure. I wish it'd been more pleasure, but I still wouldn't trade for anything in the world. The most, I always think of, if life ever ceased to be an educational experience, then I probably wouldn't get out of bed.
This morning, Paul got out of bed at the Palace, one of the most elegant hotels in the world.
The lifestyle here in Gstaad is incredible because the people that I've met here and the people that I deal with, most of them are my clients. You
want to know something crazy? How much did Paul Tudor Jones make on Black Monday, 1987? 100 million. 100 million in 1987 to today. In one day. 300 million United States dollars in one fucking day. One day, brother. One day. Also, Ryan Cohen right now is on a fucking god run, brother. You want to see something sick? So first, Ryan Cohen eBay, as we know, this is going down. Let's check charts actually. Let's check charts. eBay is up 3%. Intraday GME is up 4%. So Ryan Cohen tweets, number one, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. He tweets, the people running eBay bought $0 of stock in the open market in the last 4 years. eBay insiders sold more than 120 million in the last 5 years. He's going for the jugular. So he makes one of my favorite tweets in a long time. Watch this. He tweets, I'm selling some stuff on eBay to pay for eBay. And he links his eBay account. And so you click on the eBay account. And first of all, he has awesome stuff. Like really cool stuff. Really, really, really cool stuff. Okay, his name is what? What's his name? Ryan 5050. He has awesome stuff. Donald Trump PSA 10. But you look at every listing. You click on a listing. And in the photos, let me zoom in a little bit. In the photos, Trump. What? Dear Chairman, GameStop Corp is proposing to acquire all common stock of eBay at $125 per share. It's the fucking eBay letter. Okay? It's the eBay letter. In every single listing, the eBay letter. Vault Boy statue. eBay letter. Tom Clancy's statue. eBay letter. GameStop hat. eBay letter. In every listing, he put the letter. In every listing. GameStop store signs. eBay letter, brother. Every listing. Oh, cool. You want the GameStop mousepad for $1,000? eBay letter. And then he goes on, he tweets, on the phone with customer support at eBay, please respond at eBay. You've reached the amount $50,000 you can list this month. Blocked his account. Dude, he's trolling them. Pretty unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. I must admit, I've done a full 180 on Ryan Cohen, and I'm a huge fan. I've become a huge fan. Seriously. Like, legendary troll. He's so good. You got to just sit back and respect. You got to respect it. I also want to cover this real quick so we can cover it better tomorrow. But South Korean index is up an unbelievable amount. It's trading. It really has a lot of the speculative gains that Bitcoin and crypto should probably be seeing. And I saw this take. Do you agree with this? Do you agree that South Korea is the culture leading? South Korea culture is the leading indicator for global culture right now? Do you agree with this? They invented looks maxings and they invented not having babies, which is a wild one to flex. But do you agree with this? South Korea is leading culture right now. They're definitely leading markets. Crazy stat that I almost didn't believe is that Samsung's latest quarterly profit, driven by AI memory chips, exceeded Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. Now, when you look at this, Samsung PE, I actually don't know. It's 30 to 42x. Is that true, Dinap? 30 to 42x. Google PE. Wow, is it the same? What does it tell you on here on TradingView? I don't know how to use TradingView. Price to earnings is 30. Does it give you forward PE? Does it give you forward PE here or no? Let's go like this. Google forward PE is 29 to 32. Samsung forward PE. Wow. Like 5. Oh my God. 32 to 5. Wow. Look at this chart. Unbelievable. Since May 25, how much are we up since May 25? I don't know, 450%. I fuck with Samsung here, not going to lie, over SK Hynix for the mega church angle. It's a really interesting one, huh? It's a really interesting one. I desperately want exposure to Korean stocks, but I don't know how to get it or where to get it. I don't know if I'm late. I feel late. I don't know what to even do. IKBR. You could buy IKBR. Are you telling me to buy IKBR, or you're saying I could get exposure to it through IKBR? I'm saying I don't know what to do, as in, like, I don't know what to buy. Yo, yeah, no, I know I could use the brokerage. I know I could use IKBR. I'm saying I don't, I feel so sidelined, and I hate buying these parabolic charts. I'm down to buy ATH, but I hate buying these parabolic charts. But, you know, South Korean stocks are on the cusp of surpassing the last year's world-beating 76% gain. IKBR opening up Korea is driving flows. Will likely force HUD to do the same. Probably will. While whole SK market is barely bigger than Tesla. Think about this. I want to cover this some more. I'll save the notion where we have the laws that Mando talked about. I'll save it for tomorrow, maybe, because we got busy today. but the South Korea market is barely bigger than Tesla. That is wild. That makes you feel like it could get a lot frothier. It makes you feel like you get a lot frothier, dude. Look at this. Samsung operating profits Q1 26, 38 billion. Google, 39 billion. Samsung trading at 5x forward earnings. Google trading at 21x forward earnings. Cannot compare the two businesses, but market is giving 4 times less valuations for the cyclical nature of the memory business. I'm not saying it changed to secular for good, but it will remain secular tailwinds till AI boom demands exceed supply, and market prices at 6 months ahead. That could be 2028. This is Brad Gerster talking about it.
We made the change.
Speaking of memory, do you think those stocks have gone too parabolic, too crazy? What we've been seeing in certain parts of the chip area?
So first, if you look at the multiples, the fully taxed GAAP earnings of those businesses, the multiples are actually flat to down, Scott. They're trading at 5x fully taxed earnings. Samsung's going to do more in profits this year than Google. And so the question has always been, why the hell do these companies trade at 5 times earnings? Because people think it's a boom and a bust. There's no durability to the earnings. If you believe it's different this time, if you believe there's durability to those earnings through 2028, through 2029, which we do, and could be much further out, then these are ridiculous values in the public market. We maintain them as some of our largest holdings. We think they will continue to compound. And we think, I'm going to do a pod on this in a couple weeks with the CEO of Micron. I think there's some industry restructuring going on that will be good for the long-term health of the business. More collaboration between them and the hyperscalers that perhaps will give people more confidence about the long-term durability so that it's not so much of a boom and bust anymore.
Well,
it's an interesting one. I remain painfully sidelined on memory and AI and stocks. I make up for it a little bit with some unrealized P&L and Zcash that might become unrealized losses in the near future here. We'll see what happens. But at the very least, gentlemen and ladies, because I know they're out there, I'm having a lot of fun covering the market. I'm having a lot of fun covering the market, and somehow, some way, it doesn't feel like it's about to stop. I don't know how that's possible, but every day we continue to surpass my expectations. So, chat, I would love to share the pit. I can't do it. I can't do it. Not gonna lie, it's been mad fun being here. So I've been mad fun being in at least one trade the past couple of days. I love being in a trade. It's one of my biggest crushes, and I desperately always want to be in a trade. You can't always be in a trade, but I'm having a lot of fun on stream. Mark and Goodyear Zec trade is a huge one. Congrats. Thank you, brother. I have found myself enjoying stream more and more recently, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me this before I leave. Would you rather Black Luke, would you rather have Air Mass on tomorrow, or would you rather me do tomorrow solo? Cool. I'll probably do him Friday. I also want to give him proper time to react to. Go on. All right. I'm rocking the stream. Stay tight, stay locked in. I'm live every day at 3:45 if you are new. And let's fucking have some fun, man. I appreciate you so much. I thank you all for pulling up. I thank you all for supporting. I'm rugging. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow. I will catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of your day, motherfuckers. Peace. I'm going to bed. I gotta go take a nap. I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed. Good night. 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 Good night.